faster. Gotta get better, gotta work harder. It's fight or flight now, get up now. Go wake the moon, go for the goal. Lead up the stadium, you know it's done. Stand up, go what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you back out. Give all you got, show him how to make a miracle. Stand up, go what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you back out. Give all you got, show him how to make a miracle. Stand up, you've got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you black out. Stand up, got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you black out. Give all you got, show him how to make a miracle. Stand up, got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you back out. Give all you got, show him how to make a miracle. pretend, cause when I'm coming, it's to win. You either got it or you don't. You either bought it or you won't. You either wanna give it everything or you wanna cry about a soul. I'ma say it from the jump. Mama ain't raised a chump. Mama raised me to persevere if I'm ever here in a slum. Cause nobody starts at the top. You do your part and you better buy. Working hard each and every day, even though some days it get hard to watch. But you gotta trust the process. Grind hard, don't you ever quit. It's a must, you see the progress. Got a ball till you get a hit. They can never do what I could do, cause they on the same stuff. If you doubt me, then I'm coming to show them what I'm made of. Yeah, always showing your integrity. Yeah, if you want it, I'ma let them see. No guts, no glory, not a part of my story. I'm going hard for that trophy, it's why they all been on me. No guts, no glory, there's no need to go begin. I don't comprehend and I do not pretend, cause when I'm coming, it's to win. No guts, no glory, not a part of my story. I'm going hard for that trophy, it's why they all been on me. No guts, no glory, there's no need to go begin. I don't comprehend and I do not pretend, cause when I'm coming, it's to win.
Wake up, put the work in, it's the only way it's gonna work out. Hard work and dedication, no time for procrastination. Takes a lot of time, a lot of patience, a lot of heart mixed with motivation. On the days that you're feeling down, look in the mirror for your inspiration. Like, woo, just notice, never stop, never quit. People wanna see you doing good, but never better than them. Gotta push yourself to the limits. You cannot lose if you are not in it. You gotta lose sometimes just to win it. Don't get discouraged, it's just the beginning. Yeah, turn up. Don't end up a Timmy Turner. Don't get caught up in the streets. Don't get caught up with a burner. Don't be a slow learner. Oh no, you only get one shot, one chance. Talking March Madness at the big dance. Talking big man on campus. Like
no guts, no glory, not a part of my story. I'm going hard for that trophy, it's why they all been on me. No guts, no glory, there's no need to go begin. I don't comprehend and I do not pretend, cause when I'm coming, it's to win. No guts, no glory, not a part of my story. I'm going hard for that trophy, it's why they all been on me. No guts, no glory, there's no need to go begin. I don't comprehend and I do not pretend, cause when I'm coming, it's to win. From the back roads to back streets, I see you foes trying to trap me, but I don't run like a track meet, even though I'm number one like an athlete. And the way I maneuver around you and through you, I'm coming and I'm bound to pursue you. I'm everything that you knew of, plus more. What's in store is I'm about to get to you. Sleepless nights, better think this twice before you step to me and come and speak with strife. There's a lesson when you reach my life. It'll be chin-checking and I'll teach you right. Plenty tried, plenty failed. Too many times I've seen plenty bail. And there will be no surprise what I'm about to do when you are looking through my eyes. See many go, see many come. See that they won't bring it to me, son. Try me if you want, but won't be any fun. I'll take the challenge, I'll beat anyone. I'm the one, I'll be quite clear. Bow down to no one, I'm right here. I get it in, I don't fight fair. And guess what? I'm your worst nightmare. Cause I ain't taking no losses, and I don't even care what the cost is. Are you prepared for the forces I'm about to bring, cause I'm the boss of all bosses. I penetrate your thoughts and fill them with doubt. You gon' feel where I'm coming and feel what I'm about. If they come in with the drama, I'm wheeling them out. Cause I ain't about to have somebody here stealing my clout. I keep my friends close, enemies closer, cause that's the way it is and the way it's supposed to be. Anybody can see there's only room for one, and that one is me. Plenty tried, plenty failed. Too many times I've seen plenty bail. And there will be no surprise what I'm about to do when you are looking through my eyes. See many go, see many come. See that they won't bring it to me, son. Try me if you want, but won't be any fun. I'll take the challenge, I'll beat anyone. I'm the one, I'll be quite clear. Bow down to no one, I'm right here. What? I'm your worst nightmare. I'm your worst nightmare. Are you prepared? I'm your worst nightmare. I know you scared. I'm your worst nightmare. Are you prepared? I'm your worst nightmare. I know you're scared.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, DHL, 1xBet, US Air Force, Zowie, Monster Energy, CSGO Hub powered by Coil, and Gaming Malta.
Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the ESL Pro League Season 15. Today, we continue to take shape and draw shape, that is, of Group D, making sure that we find out which three teams are going to be advancing on into those playoffs, because boy, oh boy, that's what we've been doing for the past 3 weeks, just shaping up the round of 12 versus everything thereafter. Joining with me will be a little bit of Yanko and Kassad. There's Yanko first, there's Kassad, and hey, guys, I'm Trace.
Hey, Trace. Like,
Hi.
you sound a little bit quiet this morning. You know, it's Saturday morning. What did you do last night?
I got a good night's sleep, and it was freaking great. So,
How Trace, you good? You need anything?
No, I'm good. I just happened to walk back to the desk this morning, and I saw a little bit of artwork right here. Now, I'm not sure who's responsible for it.
Well, artwork is very...
We get a close-up right here of Kassad. Now,
I'll do it.
Let's just see. Let's just see.
Any close?
How close is that of a representation of Kassad?
It's not really close. I just see a
There it is.
smudge. Oh, look at
No, don't hide your beard. That's half the drawing, bro.
Why are you wearing a kimono?
I don't know. We should ask Blair right there. Like, I think he's the one who did it. Nice artwork. I'm going to bring this one home.
Nice.
Hang it on the wall.
refrigerator, wherever you might fit it.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, no drawings of us, Yanko. Sorry about that, but
That's all right. I think that's for the best.
yeah, probably. Honestly, the only drawings we're looking around here for, would be those brackets. How it all shapes up here in the final damn group. We've got some great matches for you all today, to include that of a couple things getting settled right out of the gate. We're talking about Heroic versus Ego to start things off here this morning, followed with a little complexity EG action. We know about the tweets.
You're gonna love that one.
The HLTV.org stuff. Oh yeah, I already think I'm already in love with it. Actually, Astralis Navi. Another one there that has to get settled at the end of the day, because these two teams top in the group currently, Yanko.
Yeah, absolutely. Navi, I think, doing still a pretty good job despite the stand-in situation, right? I think even Glaive said yesterday during the cast that Boomich is arriving today.
Oh, okay.
None of that is, like, confirmed, or that's just Glaive, like, saying stuff. But, yeah, I think for Navi, they're getting the job done, really. Like, they guarantee top 3 at this point, right? Making the playoffs, that's all they need. With the full roster, it's going to be much easier for them.
If it's true that Boomich is coming in today or tomorrow, they're going to be looking to, like, cement that first spot, quarterfinals, so they have additional time to kind of, you know, get back into the real kind of shape with Boomich and just keep practicing with him, so they can, you know, deliver another title for them, maybe.
Maybe. I mean, a lot of maybes, and it is a weird one, especially 16 won the first map of the whole tournament, and then it goes into, like, whatever amount of overtimes it was thereafter. But none of that matters now. Navi did cement that win over Ego, and we're going to start to put into place some of the top-rated players of the tournament. Now, in doing so, I look to my right, I think, Yanko, Kassad. Let's start maybe AWPers.
For me, when you look at the ops, like in the all 4 groups so far, Shiro has been the one that has been delivering the best performances so far over the, you know, those 5 matches they played, especially against Liquid, and you can see like KD is 262 and 142, and you know, ADR, average ADR is 81.6, so, and together with 137 op kills. That's pretty amazing. Close second, you know, there's come 2 players for me. One is obviously San Pius from the Movistar Riders, and Yanko just made the face there.
He's still making that face. Actually, if you want to look at it, he's right
he's there. And then obviously, they were the first team in the group. That was a very tough group for them. They went like in the first place. And obviously the third one for me, a little bit surprising, is Poison from Fnatic. So I believe those are the top 3 for me.
Would you happen to agree with his top 3?
Well, I have to at this point. That's all 3 players that we have picked out, like, for the graphics. So imagine if we just said someone who wasn't on the list, Trace.
You're right. Now imagine if we had to rate entry fraggers and we picked anyone but Config, right? Am I right?
Yeah, he's the only name on the list, right? There's
Actually,
no point in even discussing anyone else.
You're exactly right. Now, Kassad, you have been bigging up Config, and rightfully so. Very talented in the server, and he's showing that.
1 opening kills. Outrageous, Trace.
Wow.
And they
in 3 series so far.
And they still have 2 maps, 2 series
That's
to play.
10 opening kills per series.
Wow.
Best entry frag.
5 per map, at the very minimum.
Most aggressive and the best entry right now.
He just wants to say it.
Thinking that is a close second.
I just hate the definition, like, of an entry fragger right now, because it's way more complex than it used to be, right? Long gone are the days of Taco pulling out a knife and jumping out first so that his team could trade him and win the round, right?
Just like, pulling the crosshair.
One round, yes, Config might be the first guy running in with his team if they're doing a set strat. The other round, like we saw on Overpass yesterday, he might just be the A lurk, right? And just play, like, pretty late in the round. So yeah, he is one of the more aggressive riflers out there, like your Yakindars, like your Nikos even, right? Bits, whatever. But he has been playing better recently, that's for sure, and it's one of the main reasons why Astralis is enjoying some success.
The thing is, like, it's not about just getting the opening kills, it's what you do at the beginning of the round. Like, take Mirage, for example. He's going to get a few smoke, few flashes, get himself into a ladder, you know, and then he's going to secure that position for his team, and that's already 30% of the round for you. So that's, like, my definition of, you know, an entry and a, like, aggressive player.
So when I do this by definition, what does it look like to you? What does it mean to you?
Pretty rude to me, Trace.
I'm saying X factors, guys. X factors.
Hey.
X factors. That's what we're talking about right here. And who are they?
Generation X.
Jesus
Generation
Christ.
X. That's right. Kassad, X factors in the tournament.
I'm gonna leave this one to Yanko.
Oh, I like that.
His boy.
Yeah, I mean, I picked out Alex here, right? We pointed him out during their group stage as well, simply because, I mean, he's had a great tournament, but especially in those third map deciders of the series, he really stepped up in those maps, the most important ones, right? And I think also as the in-game leader, right, he has that extra weight on his shoulders, right? Has to worry about the other guys as well. What are they going to do? He was in a tough group with a lot of great teams, right? You have to outsmart your opponents as well. So for me, he was the guy who stood out the most, really.
And then if you go down that path, it should be of no surprise when you start to think about a guy like Cerato. This guy's been topping stats for some time, Kassad.
The thing is, like with Cerato, he has been, Janko mentioned him a few times before, even in Katowice event, that he has been delivering high performance in the past, 6-7 months for Furia. And that's one of the key factors that's going to propel them into the next level, the level they want to be in, like championship contenders. Right now, they got safe, and then, you know, he's working out all right so far, but Cerato, he is the main man and the best Brazilian player right now.
Damn. Well, you just want to throw everybody, just say they're the best. Who's the best casters right now?
Chad and Alex.
Oh, my goodness. That's a little forward of you. But anyway, let's bring in Chad and Alex.
Let's bring in Matt and Jason. How are you doing today before this first series?
Not quite. We do have Chad and Alex.
Jerry Springer.
Yeah. Jerry. Oh, good morning, guys. And welcome.
Guys.
What is one of the last days of the group. I want to kick it over to you guys. Any honorable mentions from your end?
Ooh.
You know, I think they were onto something with Movistar Riders. The only team to do it 5-0, like undefeated. They also played 3 maps in almost all of their series. I think it went 2-1, 2-1. But what about you?
I really liked the match we did where it was Vitality taking on Furia, because at that point we were having the discussion, I think the desk was too, that Mirage wasn't picked as a punish, and then Furia were able to come on through and show that they're a threat, and we kind of had to change the way we were looking at Vitality as well. I like what they were talking about with Cerato. I think one of the most under-applauded duos at the moment is Yuri and Cerato within the server. But when we do the casting, Alex, I've changed. I don't care about the numbers. I don't care about the context. I care about entertaining players now, right? Yeah, so okay. Art's one of the most entertaining. You get Config up there as well. So I can see you with that one there, Kassad. But who have you got in terms of entertaining players? JW's not with us anymore. You
want entertainment? I think, you know, I did actually really like the look of the new Liquid with the Liege actually kind of maybe having his worst game of is it?
Yeah, it has to be the worst game of most people's careers, I think. Poor Liege.
Yeah, no, I watched the highlights, the Fort Minor and everything.
Yeah.
But I'm actually struggling for the most entertaining. I guess Ents actually could be a good shout. Yeah, they've got some individuals and did do a lot over on Group B, so that was fun.
And I guess Simple as well, boys, who we have today taking on Astralis at the end of the day. What do you guys think? Who's the most entertaining?
I honestly think you couldn't have left it at a better note right there. Simple, of course, someone that shoots fireworks off in and out of the server no matter where you put it. Thank you, Chad and Alex. You're going to be catching up with them for the commentary going into at least this first matchup. But Simple, on the other hand, a lot of success in this guy's hands.
Yeah, definitely. He's been delivering yet again. I feel like, you know, maybe in his head he was just like, and I remembered, this is not from like Game of Thrones or anything, this pose. It's from Attack on Titan, Trace. You should watch it. Great anime. But Simple, yeah, he's rolled back the years to when he used to play with Edward and Zeus, and it's just like, you know, it's those days again. I just have to put the team on my back. Here we go into the playoffs. Just let's go. And yeah, Simple, he's just been incredible, especially considering everything that's been going on. The fact that he's able to, you know, direct his focus onto the game and just deliver these performances. I mean, it's just unlocking yet another, level. You can't say enough praise about this guy.
It's true, and it seems like over the years it only stacks higher and higher and higher for Simple, having been one of those top 5 rated players here at ESL Pro League so far. Something to grab onto here, Kassad?
The thing with Simple, he's not the... people can say sometimes that he's a little bit baiting sometimes, but I don't really agree with that. He's the guy who is always going to get into the right timing, into the right spot, and just deliver the right frag, for the actual round, and he's just going to deliver it for your team.
I think baiting is like really, like a lot of people called Coldzera a baiter as well, but when I was with him on a team, he would bait people sometimes, but it was like he baits. If he baits you, he's going to win you the round, right? Like he does it because it makes the most sense in the round, and sometimes he is the bait.
You know who does it?
You just need to take advantage of that.
You know who does it the best? Naf. He's going to bait you nasty. Out, but he's going to deliver like 10 rounds for you, right? He's going to get like 25 kills, and nobody would expect something like that, but he's going to bait you out, but he's going to deliver for you. Simple, on the other hand, most entertaining player to watch by far together with Nico.
We're talking about a guy in Simple that can get out ahead of the fight, which is always fun to watch. It's like talking about Art getting in the middle of the scrimmage right at the beginning. The scrum, rather, I should say. Now, no scrum around here. We do need to mention Spinks, 1vX's. Now, Kassad, what was it that you loved about Spinks so much?
The thing is, like, it's not just only about Spinks, it's just the whole Ants team right now. They're playing really, like, crazy, entertaining Counter-Strike, and he's one of those reasons that they do that. He's super sharp, super versatile when it comes to, like, both CT and T sides. That he can do it all, and we saw it in the, Janko mentioned, like, in the last years, he had a crazy game. He kind of boosted his stats a little bit for me. me, he's obviously the end's best player together with maybe Diha, you know, and Madden is up there as well. Have to mention. Have to mention.
Madden. Yeah, I mean, just very solid, great all-around Counter-Strike for men's. Kasad did mention it's a little bit high risk, so we'll see how it pans out for them going into the playoffs next week, Trace. A couple of days, Trace.
Yeah, it's really not that far away. All things considered, the playoffs are right around the damn corner. Yeah, playoffs. Okay, I think it's a little better that time. Anyway, the path to playoffs is very important. Now, for some of these teams, they secured it with relative ease, but it starts to look like this for the side of Group D.
Heroic wins against AGO, and they are in the playoffs, that's for sure. Or if they lose 1-2 against AGO, but Navi gets the victory over Astralis, that's how they go into the playoffs.
Yeah, now for Astralis, not necessarily the most easiest of rows, but they have made it look good, Yenko.
Yeah, and they're still in a good position, right? I mean, obviously, if they beat Navi, that's a log. That would be a great, just, you know, a good win as well. But also if Heroic and EG win, which is not out of the question, right? Heroic's playing AGO in our first game. And then later we have EG versus Complexity, the NA matchup, Trace.
Yeah, they need that one. EG need that one. I think Chad
They need something. They look god-awful in this tournament so far.
God, it's not been impressive, has it?
Exit conditions here for AGO. They just need to lose to Heroic, and they're out.
Like I said, like you just need to lose to Heroic as if that's what they're trying to exit the tournament.
Just go ahead and take that L, and then it is what it is. Now, a fighting chance for Complexity, how's that even possible? Kasad, do that math.
Well, first of all, they need to beat EG, right? And then Navi needs to win against Astralis, and then they're going to have a matchup tomorrow morning against Astralis, I guess, for that third spot.
Man, a fighting chance. Crazy. Crazy to think about for Complexity, who hasn't necessarily kind of blown us out of the water here at Pro League thus far. But then again, neither has North America in a large component.
Maybe Liquid, they did a decent job.
Yeah, the only component. That's what I was going to say. Nonetheless, we have a matchup. Cool. Yeah, it was cool. Look, we've got Heroic and Ago coming at you first. Lego, my Ago. And then we look at Complexity versus Evil Geniuses. And the final match of the night, Astralis versus Navi. But never, ever sleep on that man on your screen. That's Refresh. We'll be right back after this.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Choose nades, choose a smoke, choose a flashbang. Choose team badges to support your favourite CSGO team. Choose an ESEA Premium membership. Choose routes you know bring in wins. Choose pro video tips. Choose the fan club wars. Choose behind the scenes content. Choose good grades. Choose guns you know you can shoot right. Choose bingo. Choose the equipment you know is going to get your team the win thanks to heat maps. Choose the CSGO Hub Premium. The complete package to help you and your squad achieve all your CSGO goals.
Hello guys, we are from x-kom, Milky and Fico here. We are gonna play a really fun game. I enjoy listening tropical house music while playing CSGO.
And our pick is Frozen.
I like to deathmatch right before sleeping.
We're picking S-Type. Is it correct?
Incorrect.
Okay, this need to be true. I never play with sleepers on.
MVK.
Incorrect.
Oh, we got 0.
I drink an energy drink before a match.
And we picked Alex.
Incorrect.
Maluco.
So the correct answers were, I enjoy listening to tropical house music while I play CSGO was Alex. I never play with slippers on was Frozen.
No chance, no chance.
I would think NDK is a big troll and he put this.
I like to deathmatch right before sleeping was NDK.
Okay.
And chug an energy drink before a match was Esota. Tricky.
We're button.
Yeah.
Well, there once was a stock that sent to see something about x-kom, go out. Yeah, there was an idea there. It doesn't matter. You all know about GME. I don't need to tell you about it. Once upon a time, probably worth a fortune. Now,
shout out to the Tindy Man.
Yeah, shout out to the Tindy Man. And when he comes, we're all going to be there. So, nonetheless, ladies and gents, I come at you a little bit of heroic ego action. Recent results look a little bit like this. Now, interestingly enough, 16-1, then the spark of life. Tell me about it, Kasad.
It's always the same with these guys. Like, they lost the first game 16-1, shortest game of the event so far, and then the next game, next map on Mirage, 37-34. They had their chances, the longest game of the event, obviously. And then the same thing repeated, like in the very few next days, right? When they beat Complexity and they lost to Astralis. The second game, they kind of wake up, but it's just not enough.
Praise, the problem is those bloody first halves of the series. They always start
the
on
maps
T
they own
side, right? They start on T side of their own pick. The most they won so far is 4 rounds, right? And that was in the game against Astralis. And we're 16-13, so if they can just get a little bit of a better start, right? Like, you know, pistols are always going to be a little bit random, but regardless of that, like, really try to prepare for those first couple of gun rounds, right? Make sure you give yourself that good start, because we saw in that Mirage game against Na'Vi with a 6-7-0 start, albeit it was on the CT side, they almost ran away with the game.
And you're just making it easier on yourself when you win a couple more rounds in the first half. Weirdly enough, that is the concept. Kasad, I don't know if you know this. It's 5v5, team versus team, first to 16 that wins.
Okay. Anything else?
And it's Counter-Strike Global Offensive, and it's refresh.
How much money do you have?
At the start, you start with $800.
I mean, how much money do you have?
Like, personally, it's not looking good. So, nonetheless, let's take a look at the ratings here from Refresh. Now, a good tear there across the way for the guy.
I mean, it's different for like all 3 games. Obviously, he just had an amazing game against EG, 157 rating over those 2 maps. Against the Astralis, he wasn't so great, but it was just enough for them to win it because of that crazy, clutches and
because of Stone and Tessus and the Shush 1v3.
I mean, it was just enough. He supported enough, but overall, I think Refresh has been like a important piece for this team, and it's just that you're looking at Stone as the main player. You need somebody else who can step up regularly and deliver some numbers so you can become a...
He's the X factor of the team, right? Like, Stone is the star player. Shush and Tessus are like anchors, right, on the CT side. That's where you look at them to do most of their work, get most of their paycheck, and Refresh is the guy who, like, sometimes has a 1v5 against Liquid.
Cleanup guy.
There's a perfect example, right? Like, so he's someone who kind of delivers, being a little bit outside the box.
He's the, well, look at it like this. He's the hunter of G2, in a way.
Hunter
but
of
he's
Heroic.
the refresh of Heroic.
G2's hunter refreshes the there.
You said he's the hunter of G2. Instead of
he's hunting G2. No, but yeah, you're right.
Are you okay, Kasad? It's fine, man. We totally understand. Refresh, someone not to be messed with when it comes to the late rounds. That's what we're getting at. Yeah, that 1v5, everyone's going to be thinking about that.
You can say he's the Kasad of the analyst desk.
Yes, the closer, resident snoozer. We have resident sleeper, resident snoozer.
So
yeah. Nonetheless, guys, we continue down the path. We could talk all the day about Refresh and his accomplishments therein, but rather, let's hear about them instead.
Hey everybody, it is day 4 of Group D, and right now I'm joined by Casper, Kadian for the first interview, because during this whole thing, like, I got to interview like you kind of between the games, but like a proper interview, I didn't actually get to talk to you. But right now you guys are doing really good. Like, you have like 3 wins, you have 0 losses, and right now you're going to play against Algo. You got to play against like also like a lot of North American teams. Do you think that maybe like the weakest European team that is in this group is actually stronger than all of the North American ones?
Nah, I'm not necessarily sure about that, but I guess so far, if you ask them, they probably would say so, because they beat Complexity, and I think they're yet to face EG. They played them in the last round, so they've done pretty good with winning that game. I didn't know too much about them before coming to this tournament. Honestly, a lot of their players' names I've never seen before, but the Polish scene has been under some kind of like rebuilding phase for quite some time, and it's good to see a Polish team here at Pro League, and yeah, there's a lot of good Polish Counter-Strike fans out there, and they need a good team to cheer for.
Oh, that's definitely true. Well, Kadian, the thing is, I already asked this question to Tessus yesterday, and the thing is, like, you are a really like high-tier team, and it's probably getting harder and harder for you to improve. What do you like try to work on at the moment? Like, is it like the comms, the map pool, or is it like something else?
I would say there's been like a focus on the map pool a little bit coming into this season. It's not even like I felt like some of our maps have been necessarily bad, but some of them we just didn't play that much. And then if you don't play them on a regular basis at tournaments, then you don't really know where it's at, you know? So like Vertigo, for example, we felt like for a long time we were super good on it in practice, but it was just never really like the third map or the choice of the opponents. And we've shown now that we are 4-0 on it. And yeah, Ego picked it, so that's interesting. And yeah, we picked Nuke. And Nuke is another thing when improving on the map pool that it used to be our home turf, our best map, and it hasn't been for a while. So yeah, now we're playing it, and yeah, they choose to start T side. So that is something.
That'll be really interesting to see. Okay, thank you much, Kadian.
Yeah, shout out to Kadian one time. Now, here's an interesting idea. If you just put all this together for just 1 second. The map pool between these two teams, almost incomparable. Now, I say that because, well, as it turns out, there's no Dust 2 to be played there. There's also another permaban when you look at the side of Overpass. And no matter how you spin this, and in no matter what direction, the tier of competition is just not there. You think about who Heroics played versus who Ego's played, and even with the lineup situation.
Yeah, Ego hasn't played anyone with this lineup.
Yeah,
that's
not ideal.
They played, I think, one game against Fnatic's Academy team, which they lost a best of one, right? And I think they're also figuring things out as they go through this tournament. Obviously, you saw Dust 2 there. That was their pick in a couple of series. Went horribly wrong on the T side, and luckily they stepped away from it.
Yeah, and luckily Kadian did the vetoes for us. So
the Vertigo on that graphic that we saw before is like Vertigo is 100% for Heroic, and it's what 50% for Ego, and they didn't even play anyone spectacular, right? It's just.
Yeah, and it's also interesting to see that they pick, I mean, you could tell Kadian was definitely amused by it, the fact that they picked T-side on Nuke, which is
that sounds
pick.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
It's like, especially considering the T-sides have been the problem for them, right? Why would you want to do that? But let's see, they surely have something in store for us, Trace.
Got to. Kassad, is there a way in hell that Ego win this one?
No, not in hell.
Not in hell? Well, what about on Earth? Is that close enough for you?
Well, maybe on Earth, not in hell.
Heaven is a place on Earth, Trace.
Yeah, that's what they say. Or you can climb that stairway, and it's not up into the Katowice Grand Stage. I can tell you that. We're going straight into Vertigo. The first map, Nuke, Mirage. It's Heroic versus Ego.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much, and good afternoon to everyone tuning in. It's the start of your weekend. What are you doing? You watching Counter? You gonna play some? Chad Birchall's joining me. He's probably going to talk about some Counter, then play some.
Jason and I owned some massive noobs in Wingman this morning.
That's what I want to hear.
And I was trash talking all game long.
All right. Well, I'll tell you who else has been trash talking. It's Ultimate, who is Cyclone today.
Oh, yeah, he has, obviously, right? Whoever he's playing against, they're not a massive Ultimate fan, but we are, because we like the mechanical ability of this kid on the AWP. Now, 1xbet odds. Favoring Heroic, and that is a nice little tidy one from Caden as they're out mid, bursting for the B split. Shush is tested.
All alone. If he gets one, it's awkward, and it's much more than that. It's a double. It's potentially the round. A plant's great. They're going to rotate through, and Fernand's got B stairs on lock. If he can dance and catch them off guard with them, he's got all the util though, so really hinges on him not being cleared, and a first click's great. If he can dance with Cadian.
Cadian should bait now. Allow the others to activate first. Ferland should think this is clear, and yeah, he does.
Oh, he does, and he's dead. Dead. He's dead. He's
definitely dead now.
Milky is in a 1v1. They've managed to make this round hyper competitive, and with no kit, you just have to play the time well. Play it wisely. Sori's off it. This works in his favor now. Just dancing with Cadian, playing it so well, and no more time for Cadian. A 2v4 takes shape from Milky. He gets a lot of credit for that, and leaves with 4 frags. Lovely round to start us off. Ego, what a turnaround.
That's the Ego special. You know, you order one of those, you get about 2 a day, right? They're good lukewarm. You like them preferably hot, and hot out the pistol round here. The fact that they get away with that is absurd, but we should be coming to expect that. These kids, they're just able to manufacture these rounds out of nowhere. After these 2 frags, you're right, it should have just been 1, and that should have been enough. The fact he gets 2 is fantastic. This round should not be falling apart, right? The kill from Ferland onto the first player of Refresh, whatever, but the fact that the trade wasn't available on Milky on the site, great stuff from Milky. We'll just see the USPs coming out now from Heroic. Couple of flash bangs. And we'll see how this one bangs here, because, yeah, they were talking about the T-side start on Nuke. Hey, well, let's see. These guys tend to have a bit of a comeback to them. Should have come back in Complexity last night as well against Na'Vi.
Oh, man, it was a bit harrowing, wasn't it? I think, actually, there's going to be so many games for Complexity which are just huge learning experience.
It feels like in the Na'Vi matchup, they had fixed a lot of the mistakes they had in the earlier games, right? And look, I know you never want to be coming back from massive deficits.
It was 2-12 3 halves, wasn't it? And and like they came back to close affairs, like 29 rounds. It's kind of crazy. Those flashes you talked about, and we wanted to see if they banged. They still could, actually. This set up on short. They plan to flash and go.
Yeah, they're anti-flash 2 players here, right?
Yeah, so Milky should be able to mop up, but it's just a question of getting some kills. The flash, and Fiku at least responds for the first. Nice response with the short molly and 2 frags. Refresh is even in position to try and get another with just his USP, and he does land a ding. So
damage
keeps him honest. Stown has walked through the smoke. They may
catch
not be
another.
aware. And paying attention is Leeman. Posts his first frag. Ego only with 2 casualties, so not too much to be concerned about.
Well, they know the rifles are coming out now, right? So they did sustain a bit of damage there, but it won't be the end of the world. They could upgrade into a couple of juicier looking AK-47s. So their buy will be bolstered knowing they're going up against the M4s of Heroic, who the only player who can buy a kit right now is Katie. And let's see if he even decides to invest in that. He hasn't bought a molly, he hasn't bought a flash, so he stayed light on. Now, I know he's the primary AWPer here, but there's a plan. They're going to push, I think. Alex, double mid, real fast, off the flash, control taken. Jarring play immediately here for Lehman.
Oh my God, they have a follow-up flash, but they don't clear.
Uh-oh.
Leeman, good chance. Needs to tame the spray. A whole lot of damage dealt, but Heroic's aggressions has been rewarded, but that's info. You know they've gone for a bit of an overcommitment mid. Start to drop the one way and fight into B.
Lots of pressure here. Shush isn't aware of this. He's got no idea.
No, he doesn't have a clue. And oh, Milky really does. Let that one loose, lets it fly.
Couple of sprays there. Made a bit of a mare of 2 scenarios that, well, they took advantage of just by positioning alone.
Oh, yeah, I mean, for Lehman, when his vision's restored and this, he has no idea where they could be. They flood through. Nice little set piece out of Heroic to get opening CT move.
Yeah, and I think, oh, the head was spotted there. Yeah, just on the way out, ultimate, too many angles to clear at once. Teslas will grab that. And I think that was, as I was mentioning, reflected in Cadian's buy, right? Because if they were going to do a standard round, he would have bought a molly and a flash, most likely, or a kit and a couple of flashes. Instead, they've gone direct. And he didn't want to waste cash, because if he just runs and dies, he's going to want that extra money later in the game.
Thinking about it
2 on 5.
Wait, this is the Ego special.
The 2 on 4. How many more?
A lot of faith on Shush. Oh, and yeah, Fiku's actually gone wide for that.
Come on, Ferlin. Give us a 1 on 3, mate.
You can just perfectly one-tap that Ellie player. It gets interesting. And that's Tessus' responsibility. Shush has actually left B and pushing, so Furlan will have an opportunity here in that Tessus duel.
Time's such a problem, 10 seconds. Just damage, I suppose.
Yeah. They just want the info. They're playing it smart. And don't clear his corners down. Post it. 2 AK-47s, I think. Yep, nice work for the CTs. They'll be happy with that. But this aggressive CT maneuver, first gun round, that is an example of how Heroic do like to lay down the law. You know, right, hey, you've got the first 2 rounds. Now we're going to show you exactly how we like to play this game. Running in your face. Milky had a bit of a whiff there.
This is the angle that Cadian's playing, right, that is susceptible to exactly that boost, right? When there's only 1 player alive, you don't really have to worry about that, but that position, it is in the blind spot here. They've got 2 AKs out, 3 Deagles, and we've seen how good these kids can be on the Deagles as they want to traverse up towards the A ramp. Ferlin trying to take space, peppered on through, will get refresh, and that's an opener again for Ego.
It's a big one to take, and now confirmation 2A. You had someone spotted left side ramp, short as well, and Cadian goes missing.
That's just a dry swing.
Under the smoke. Tessus can save them. Leeman's good for it though, and it's a double spray from Stown. Stepping up in a big way. Wow. He actually hits.
I thought it was the third. It was Shush actually right there who then gets the TK onto him. So that was the first 2 from Stown.
I thought Stown hit a third.
Yeah, it looked like it, but that was Shush. So the S is in the feed, a little bit confusing there. But the dry swing from Cadian, extremely perplexing here. Ferlin gets away with murder, doesn't he?
So look at this smoke. Cadian, I don't know if he was aware of just how exposed his toes were as he pushed through dry. And it was an easy collection. This is Shush's accidental team kill. Tries to adjust the spray. His teammate shoulder just strafing through, and Fiku finishes the round for a third. So that's brilliant for the boys of Ego. Straight back to their winning ways.
They're out mid here fast, and this is a force buy from Heroic. So great stuff for Ego early. They're real pacey right now.
Yeah, good nade. Is just bang on the money for Leeman. 1 of the 3 rifles, or 4, excuse me, in play. Fiku puts his in the feed. Refresh for some reason is not checked, and 2 bodies drop to that 5-7. There you go. They can't slip on this. They have to slow it down, and Milky just wants to bring an end around right now. Bomb loose, 2 if you strafe. Good headshot. No, nearly brings it back. but heroic. I mean, look how much time is left on the clock. They handle business in that chaos.
Yeah, this is our type of Counter-Strike right here. The fast stuff getting in your face. So I'm enjoying this within the first 5 rounds of play. Fiku, they're not able to close out. Could have chucked another 1vx to the tally he has. Currently the most 1vx situations in the group, old Fiku. But yeah, great response time here. That was just a fast mid to B split, and it actually worked out quite nicely. That nade stalled them, and yeah, a little bit unfortunate there, but still early days. And back to the pistols they go. This time, there's no AKs, there's no Deagles in the mix, just a couple of P250s, and this is a chance for Heroic to level things up 3-3. But as Alex was mentioning, if you are watching on your Saturday, wear like your morning cartoons.
I love that.
Get a bit of hashtag ESL Pro League, tag us on through, send us a tweet, let us know. Maybe you're watching with your dog or your cat, your mum or your dad. Maybe you got an epic gamer set up with your RGB lights. Let us know. Send us a photo.
See Harry's desk?
Yeah.
He's got a nice little RGB pipe.
I'm surprised that he didn't go for the clouds in on the ceiling. Have you seen that?
Oh, that would be nice.
Yeah, I think it's a fire hazard. Like the tradesman amigos, that just... Oh, this is very costly. Very costly indeed. If Tessus goes very, very costly, I'm just going to continue to add berries.
What is this game? Very funky first 6 rounds here.
This can really fall apart.
It could. I mean, Lehman can just play out a nice 1v2 here. I mean, he doesn't have the armor advantage, but he's already got himself the M4.
This is the perfect route. Shush has pushed B. Stown was just dealing with A. They have to worry about the ladder to mid play. He's actually pipped the one gap that was available here.
Shush might be back at B stairs.
This is for the ace as well. Give us the beans here, Lehman.
He's a bit slow. Shush still hasn't relocated, so he's got time to get himself into the B site.
If they get a plant here as well, what a fantastic eco this will have been.
It was just a couple of P250s. He's got no information on CT. Shush has maneuvered back to the stairs. So now, how do you plant safe from stairs? He's got 12 seconds. Spots him. Oh, and that's the end for Lehman. Valiant attempt. Well played in the end. Shush manages business, does cage that plant, but plenty of cash thanks to some of those extra kills.
I would hate that round if I was Heroic. That's so messy and so tense for almost no reason, right? Just not landing their shots, because it's not coming down to anything here other than not landing the shots.
It's actually got costly for Heroic as well. Like, they are really going to be scraping the bottom of the barrel. You're going to be having, what, 50 bucks in the back pocket, most of them? Yes, Shush and Tessus have only got pocket change.
Yeah, that's a round you meant to build the bank, right?
Yeah.
Not blow the bank.
No, just make them vulnerable and susceptible to this gunny. Let's go. Stown, aggressive this time. Fiku over the edge of the smoke. Can't manage the final bullet of the spray. Just losing those jewels by a smallest of margins. And there's more to come. And my God, Heroic are ready to fight this.
He's going to push. He's actually going to worm his way into this smoke.
Oh, Milky's not ready for this at all.
That's naughty,
That's
man.
really cheeky. The re-smoke and the trying it again. It's ultimate of all the candidates to deal with that.
Well, there's no going B, because you know that Shush is still alive, right? This smoke is going to fade, and Furlan likely to be in the open here. The molly, well placed. Needs to back on off. This round's not over just yet.
I still can't get over Stown's willingness to push. Double kill from Stown and 20 HP after that first engagement. Committing up ramp, and Furlan's managed to take refresh. No trade available. Summons Cadian.
It's a Mac 10 at range as well.
Yeah, it's very kooky, isn't it?
Might be a repick here from Tessus. They just want to fight. Flash go spots, not a whole lot. Shush is pushing B again, so they know it's likely A. 45 seconds on the clock.
So much time. This is a different looking Virgo. An interesting smoke, no less, as well. Ultimate going for the elevated peek through the headshot.
They're all going to swing together here. This would be nice from Ego. They just have to trade out.
Here it comes. Lehman swings through. Nice trade. Ultimate's there. Cadian, next challenge. Oh, they didn't really account for him. 19 seconds. He is being locked. Oh, he's being locked. Shush has got him. Dead to rights. Knife out. Ultimate dies. Loses the AWP. Didn't consider that the door would be locked behind him, and Heroic will pick themselves up for their 3rd round. In a row, no less, Chad.
Yeah, this is one where they have to keep clean, though, right? Because you look at the last 3, and it's been 1 alive, 2 alive, 2 alive, right? So if they want to start establishing that CT side bank we always talk about, just keep a couple extra players alive, right? So crazy with the re-aggression on low HP, but it pays off, and this is ultimate awareness there. Catches something through the cusp of that smoke, and now just a couple of upgraded pistols, but these have been threatening. These have been quite threatening from Ego, so let's see how far they can push the issue. They invested $2,400.
Ooh, some damage and deep smoke, so this can only really go one way.
Or the other. I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna get you one way or another.
Do you know where I learned that song from?
A movie?
The Rugrats movie.
The Rugrats movie?
Angelica sang it when she was looking for Tommy. And what was the redhead dude's name? Tommy Pickles
Chucky?
and Chucky.
Chucky?
Tommy Pickles.
And Lily?
Oh.
And Phil.
Good I can't believe you found a hidden smoke grenade there. Well played, lads. Where did that come from?
He was trying to shoot it out of that position, but you're right. I don't know how it got there. Couple of kills. He'll be nice for Ego. 45.
I'll take a sweepstakes, Chad. How many?
2. Each. 2 each from Cadian and Tessus.
Oh, nice, bro. There, you smashed it.
There's always a way out. There's always a way out.
That's right. That is right. All right. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if we get to see another speedy one. I mean, Ego, even though these gun rounds are not too frequent, we have seen a willingness to just straight up throw bodies at a problem. Their mid to B with guns did get dilapidated by some quick fat 5-7 flanks. So perhaps let's see if it just your standard default. Lehman's lining up for a quick smoke short.
That's the gap smoke that Cadian ran through before, right?
Yeah, which leaves the legs.
Yeah, you just want to dissuade any early picks there. So 2-2-1 setup here. They're leaving A very light with just Tessus over there early. Jostle for some of this B control. Oh, and they like the biff of the nades here, don't they? Molly's nades, flashes, everything. They want to push them back. They want to funnel them out. Well, the HE from Cadian will get it done.
I could have geeked it for sure.
They've definitely watched the demo from the other day because one of the things that Ego were doing was getting that B lobby control and then dropping the one-way, and then they'd scale pretty quickly behind the one-way. They have a bunch of different variations over there. So now they can regather. CTs have changed up the defense now. Started quite heavy mid and B. Now it's the standard 1-1-3 with the 3 over towards A of Cadian, Refresh, and Tessus.
Cadian just got a nade kill on B, and now he's re-smoking A and swing through. Tessus gets nothing done.
It's info. It almost feels like they have to go A at this point in the round. They only have smokes to try and pull off this execute, so they can do left and right of sight and go. And giving away a shots down in the open there.
Yeah, great punish. Ultimate gets it done. They haven't got info short.
Might be a save there immediately from Heroic. What are you meant to do? Cadian just went back and picked up a flash from spawn, but now that Refresh is tucking tail as well, surely they're going to call this one off. Money not really there. They'll be able to get a couple of drops. Cadian and Shush can drop for Stown and Tessus respectively. Their loss bonus going into the next only going to be that 1400 mark. So having to play out the percentages here are Heroic. And a round that started with a nice opening kill off some orchestrated utility falls apart with just a couple of, well, aggressive maneuvers. Tessus going forward, the flash not finding the success that he was looking for, and Stown in no man's land with the ultimate peak. So good stuff. Ego keeping this one quite competitive early. First round they've been put on the boards in those 4 consecutive you were mentioning. Now later today, if you are going to be watching Counter-Strike, having you on the telly all day, we've got Complexity versus EG, and then the final matchup of the day will be that Astralis versus Na'Vi game. And I think the way that Astralis are playing, it makes that matchup seem a whole lot more exciting.
It does. It really does. And I think especially considering that it's just going to be one of those, it'll be a game and a head-to-head that would likely have weight and relevance next time they meet in a larger stage. We get to kind of compare them, measure them up against one another, and see exactly how close Astralis are to kind of catching and being competitive against Na'Vi. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes all the way.
Yeah, hopefully Boomich is back like Glaive said yesterday. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Got some more info than we do on this side of things. Flashed off, pushing down. Ace and spam.
Oh, he's so lucky to be alive. There could be a problem getting through. Nades they are so good at finding this chip damage now. Heroic really have ironed this out. It's not necessarily perfect. You can see they're still slipping up, and the previous save is an embodiment of that. What is going on? Look how stubborn they are for mid controls. Sound just sticking around. 2 were there.
Yeah, if he gave that kill up, that damage onto Ultimate and Ferlin, it might not matter as much. They've been able to retain a lot of this utility here. They're keeping the 3-pronged defense over towards A in quite a forward stance here, so they're ready to react off Cadian's shot. Careful now, Cadian. You're walking the tightrope.
Tessus, perfect timing. Will slap down Furlan, finish what Refresh had started earlier, and re-smoking as well. 48 and counting.
Oh, that's a nice find.
Iku, actually, yeah, he posted onto Cadian, makes the steps, and they are returning to middle. And it's very susceptible to the boosts. Down goes down. It does work for them. And I mean, with 2 CTs left, they just have to make sure they can get the bomb down. You know Shush is holding your B rotate, and Tessus is Ellie.
Has to be A.
Solve this puzzle together.
It has to be A right now. They need to help out Ultimate. 20 seconds left, boys. You need to get a bit of a move on right now. Indecision at this moment, not going to go well. Flash will be heard. Tessus, high alert. Needs this kill, needs it now.
Ultimate, not ready. He's got the bomb, and they've got the round. 2v3, and all he had to do was just throw 2 Molotovs on the bomb. Heartbreak for Ago after really clawing their way back into that one, but took them too long. Tessus with some style points to finish, and even an AWP for good measure.
Yeah, they had a double AWP set up that round for Stan and Cadian, but didn't find too much success through the AWP. So fortunate that the kills came in that fashion are heroic to walk away with this one. And it's very awkward if you're Ultimate here, because just prior to your teammates making that success in middle, just after your teammates making that success in middle, Shush gets the kill after pushing B. So you know you can't go back, you can only go forward, and your help is too far away, and you're low. So it was a really rough position for the AWP player from Ago to find himself in. They tried to make the best out of a bad situation. A timeout will be called. This is Mini Rock's opportunity from Ago to get on the mic and have a bit of a chit-chat. The AKs can come back out. No dramas in that buy department. But what do they feel is going to work for them here? I did like the pace earlier because it was creating a bit more chaos, and sure, it becomes like a 50-50 when you get down to those 2v2s, but they were definitely keeping Heroic on their toes. And because of the gambling nature of Heroic, we were discussing this yesterday with Glaive, that if they gamble correctly, or you gamble correctly, right, into your call, you're going to catch them out of position. You're just going to catch them well and truly off guard here. But this is very default spready. Maybe they've isolated the fact that Shush is getting away with a lot of B push. They're getting away with a lot of re-aggressors. And there's a find. Milky onto Katie and aggressing mid. So if the call was, let's just default, it's worked wonders immediately.
You can see the counter to the Nafany smoke is up as well. So, Tessus reloads on shore, and it's going to have to be tucked in.
Oh, look at this. They are just completely gambling the A site, and they have so much utility here.
Well, wait. Leeman might be able to get info and call a cancel.
They're all here.
Oh, Leeman's just joined.
Yeah, they're all
he was
here.
Middle. He's gone down the ladder. They're all running into the stack. Okay, 5v4, but everyone from Heroic's here. The telegraph nature of Ago's crawl. They're ready to fight now. They want to take some space back. Furlan, surely dead man. Pre-fire's there. Tess is low. And Stown does go down, but they're just going to keep fighting. They keep bringing you the fight one way over the sandbags, and a double from Fresh. Leeman's just not aware. Oh dear, Ago, this is not how you wanted this to go down.
And look how concerned Fiku is with the Shush flank, because Shush hasn't shown himself over towards A yet. It was Tessus, it was Refresh, it wasn't Shush, so he's still worried about the flank. That nade's good. Winnable round now. Needs to...
Oh, he's stressed.
Get that bomb back, though. Picked it up. Smoke in hand. 14 seconds.
Yeah, they're playing this one well. He's got the smoke. The nade won't kill him. Doesn't smoke it. Fakes it. What are you hoping for? He'd have to just spray the wall, and oh my god, imagine. One just taps straight through the boards and Refresh is dead, but not to be.
Another costly one, though, for Heroic, isn't it? And this was the thing. Once Cadian went down in middle, they know that the AWP was removed from the board, so maybe just wanting to walk back towards A, not expecting such a jarring presence. When this second wave of CT utility came through, they stuck to the A play, right? Maybe there wasn't enough to be telling that there's all 4 players from Heroic bearing down on the site, but that was a gamble. After losing the opening player, they gambled, and look, this was an educated gamble, right? Because they know that they've been pushing B a lot, forcing their hand in that direction, and it works on out. But here's down again, just in a different place every round, this guy. Aggressive B stairs, we've seen this work a few times before. Gets a kill, gets away, and look, he's found one, Lehman back with another, so there's exchanges across the map here.
Shush is responsible for ramp side, and with Milky's scout already known, low and potentially tapped. Damn, this one's done. Nicely handled. Shush and Refresh responsible for ramp and doing great as they win out the defensive half. 8 in the bank. Shush even treating himself to a Zeus. That's a bit out of character.
Oh, he's dropped it.
Oh.
I don't want anything to do
Yeah, I
with it.
thought so.
Yeah, I don't want anything to do. He doesn't do that. Tristan,
It's not a Shush kind of thing.
business. No. It's interesting to learn from Glaive yesterday. He's not the type of guy to knife. Not the type of guy to pull out a knife. Keeps it safe, keeps it sound. Now, we've got a bit of like esports mecca going on, I think, in the next couple of months, right? I was thinking about it. We've had 24 teams, we have had 24 teams come here to Dusseldorf to be part of ESL Pro League. And then I saw today, like the Renegades boys just landed back in Poland for a boot camp before the RMR. We're going to have 16 teams from the Americas region over in Europe as well for the RMR. And then there's just going to be so many squads for the European side.
You know the scrims are going to be hot.
It's going to be wild. I don't know how everybody's going to find space to get the different prac facilities, because I know we've had a lot open up over the last couple of years, but there's not going to be enough for everybody, right? So some teams also not with the support.
Some dude's just going to deck out a church hall and invite his favorite team.
So rolling back the years to the BYOC lands.
Yeah, exactly. On the village green, playing some CS, and Tesses is down. Nice. Fiku, again, is stubborn on this T side. He has been putting his name in the feed pretty consistently. Lehman mid. They've been trying to work their magic, and it hasn't worked as well as it did before. Heroic have managed to kind of cage these two. Milky and Lehman have previously, though, been threatening when we watch their Vertigo here. They've got a nice little procedural mid-take.
I like the fact, though, that after they realized that it's 3 players aggressive, they put so much pressure on mid, because this has drawn Refresh back now as well. It's just Cadian overseeing business from Headshot. They've just double netted towards Sandbag. We saw what that did to Complexity just the other day. And now, I was going to say they can execute A, but they only have a Molotov to do so. This will have to be contact heavy here. And a gamble again from Heroic.
I think it's also the confidence in their own teammate in Stown, just knowing he'll probably take 2 before they need to move on down. Cadian's got lots of lineups from that box, and here comes the contact. Could be a flash if there was from the CTs. There's a single flash on Stown, so actually it is going to be pure bullets and a one-way drop by Cadian.
Well timed here. If he drops this now, 40-second mark, perfect. They have to go.
Oh, it could not have been better timed. Refresh obscured by the smoke, does go down. Ultimate's keeping it interesting, and it's Cadian's AWP that puts Lehman out of the round, and Cadian's not going to let those kind of frags slip away. Oh, nearly the beautiful 3K. Ultimate lives on from the first shot. 20 seconds for him to try and pull this off.
Gonna save her, I think. Can't get into the site. The utility too good there from Heroic to deny that plant. Down even want to have a bit of a chase or grab himself an AK. He's hot on the trail of Ultimate, who's dipped all the way back on towards that ladder room. Will retain the big green and carry it forward. 2 rounds left here for this T-Hall of Ago. How many more can they add to the board? Maybe another timeout necessary, because the money is a bit scrambled, and the fact that there's the AWP save, you can see the play here. So Nafany smoke because he knows he's going to be safe there. And then he looks into the wall, because the CTs, a lot of the time now, when you have a player swing out top of scaffolding, they're always throwing that double flash. So just by looking into the wall, waiting for the flashes to pop, and then looking back, you can see he has the toes spotted of that gap push every day of the week. But they've actually gone all in. So not just a half buy. They've fully bought around Ultimate saved AWP.
Guess they agree. 6 sounds a whole lot more competitive than 5. Man, dead to right. How did they flash him from there? And Ultimate, he's getting run on. Does cancel the Stown presence in mid. Keeps us interested with a nice 4-on-4, but the util actually, he wants to...
I like it. He knows he needs something back here. I like the risk.
Maintaining mid. Cadian's completely abandoned mid.
It's going to be difficult, though, to try and swing on this, knowing there's an AWP on the other side. So, as an AWP player, unless you knew exactly where he was and you could swing out immediately to take that fight, there's too many possible angles available. And again, setting themselves up to defend A with 3.
Paladin and Tessus has been having somewhat of a standoff here. And Tessus usually good for it. 12 frags to his name at this point, 100 ADR. And again, Tessus knocks his head off Furlan. Unable to contribute. Ultimate's still up there in mid, and it does just feel like they're kind of a little, what's the word?
Stumped?
Stumped.
This shush push on B again has been such an issue, right? He's been down here the entire time. So much information, and now as they run in, they're worried about a player on the site. Cadian over towards spawn. The obstacle for 1, make it 2, and the 3rd on the plate as well. Cadian unable to finish. Will go down, but refreshes there for the trade, and we'll call that 10. It's very problematic. If you don't feel like you can go back to B
at all.
Yeah.
Like, dude, when we watched their Virgo, we were so excited to see so many variations of B takes and B fakes and B presence, never mind just being on that side of the map. And I do think that Stound's cheeky push, combined with Shush and his containment and a couple of running into him, has led them to completely avoid that side of the map.
Yeah, containment's a very good way to put it. Well, they're coming in fast. I think they're going to try and mix things up with the B rush. And stalled out already.
And then they feel the wrath of the Nays. Look at them. Look, they're just going to keep barraging them. Heroic responsive. Shush is there. Stound has already repelled the invaders. And there's more to come. More to come. Nice from Ultimate, needed that. And if there's one more overextension from Shush, they could be back into this round, or he could end it. Look at that. 2 headshots, 2 different angles, and poor old Ego staring into the pits of 11 rounds for their opponent. Heroic only need 5 into the second half. We swap sides. Attack for the Danes to try and pick up Ego's map pick. It could be quick. Stay tuned and you'll find out.
At the ready. He's known for his movement, the old man. We'll see how he gets this one done. Bump mine forward. Here he is, launching himself into the site. 1 for all up and 2 down.
Standing Molotov being locked into the window. The bomb's going to be planted. And honestly, it's a recon nade.
Oh, and with the information, that's it. That's the game. Everything he needs. 2 shots, lining him up. Easily landed. The second as well.
Wu here, poised to make an entrance in the B side, taking a lot of damage to the wall, Yanko.
Well, he's got a hell shot trace.
He absolutely does. It's starting to make a big problem here for Sanachiro and Axel.
No. Can't be. What have they done? It's my game. There's no way. No way! No, what did they do? Hello everybody, we're back to bring you the second half of Vertigo. 11 already in Heroic's back pocket. It's good vibes over there, and the tribe of Ago. It was hit and miss, felt like a couple of near misses, but also just feeling a little too intimidated by some of the heroic maneuvers early. Did cage the beast that we know Ago can be. They're over to the defense though. It's more reactionary than it is over on that first half. Oh, look at Refresh. He's got 2 flashes as well. He's going to be supporting a full 4-man commit here. And they are just charging on up. 1xbet odds favor Heroic. Who'd have thunk it? Bait and switch, though. I like this from Lehman and Milky.
They're going B. They've completely faked this out. The B-bomb site is open for business. And actually, Juice is just going to kill everybody on the side. Don't worry about where the bomb is, boys. Everybody's dead.
Oh.
That is the perfect fake. If your individuals who are rushing the other bomb site and drawing the distraction can kill everybody, guys, if you can call that strat as an in-game leader, you're a genius. You're an absolute genius.
Chad, I have a question for you. Has anyone really been far even as decided to use even go want to do more like?
It's a great question.
You know, I don't know either.
I've been pondering this one for many years.
Let us know in the chat. Has anyone really been far even as decided to even use go want to do more like?
Yeah, well, it makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? I got a couple people chipping in, Alex.
I saw the
force by hold up. Next round will be an eco. So if Heroic win this, next round will be an eco, and then we can get away with this safely.
As they a very aggressive top of the beast smoke. And already that force buy has been a little gimped.
Yeah, Fiku down, and they're making it past this line of sight. Lehman spots something.
Yeah, but he has got... Oh, no.
Hi, boys.
The whole boost has fallen apart, and Ago pants Lehman 1. As you were saying?
Where was I? Chip's, he's tweeted in. Chip said, I got nothing better to do at 6 a.m. on a Saturday. Where were you at, Chip, for it to be 6 a.m.? Are you in the Americas? You could be in the Americas, Chip. But you're watching on a laptop. He's watching on it. It's like a MacBook, I think, here with a keyboard plugged in.
I reckon he's a bit of
a cactus on your desk there, Chip?
Chip.
Anyway, that's what Chip's up to. Who else is getting involved in the Twitter sphere today? To Sven says, studying for uni, doing some... I'm not even going to bother, mate. I think you're doing mathematics. Watching your second favorite team, Heroic. Does that mean his favorite team is Australis? He could be if he's... I don't know, I'm assuming he's Danish. So I'm sorry about the assumption there. But there's a calculator.
Ooh.
It's an actual calculator.
Like, that usually means you're doing something that you need all the fancy, like sin, cos, tan, bam.
Yes, exactly. I could even see he's showing his workings.
Is he?
That's very important, I remember, back in school, is to show your workings. And he has an eraser.
I haven't had one of those since I had a pencil case, and that was, you know...
It looks like he has one of those pencils that you click the end to keep it going.
A mechanical pencil?
Those are pretty cool.
Those are cool. I
also need a sharpener for those.
I always feel like if you've got a couple of mechanical pencils, add a calculator, you're an engineer or an architect.
Yeah, what are you trying to become, Sven?
Calculating.
Good stuff.
Those are the questions, and thank you for sending it in. We get...
It's like a mailbox, but instantaneous.
It's fun. It is fun.
We really do, one season, need to have an actual post box, though, so people can send us
like a PO box?
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Because we've spoken about it before.
Imagine.
We haven't put it off.
It would be like Chad's box, but it would be from everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The box would be vetted. You can't just send us anything.
No, it would have like someone in a biohazard suit open them all first.
Precisely.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's not gone swimmingly.
So, because this is an eco, I'm gonna let people know about something funny that you can do to your friends or your family or maybe your enemy. You can send them glitter in an envelope. Right, so you
Chad.
So you Google it, guys. Get on the interwebs. You can find this. So if maybe you're not a fan of someone, right, and they take the letters, they take the letters inside, and they're in their house, and they're at their coffee table. Maybe they're sitting down, about to have a nice little croissant and a coffee, and then they open the letter, and glitter is everywhere.
Have you seen He's really talented. I think Mark is his name, Mark Robia or something. He's a YouTuber, but he's also like a NASA engineer.
Oh yeah.
And in his free time, he's made a glitter bomb for porch pirates.
Porch pirates?
Porch. You know, like, so in America, there's a lot of people that go around stealing people's packages.
I see.
Yeah, Mark Rober.
So it's like ink sacks for banknotes.
Yeah, exactly. But it's so sick. He's got, like, you know, version 4.0 now, where essentially it opens, it records it from 360 degrees, so you see the person opening it. It catapults and spins glitter around their entire room, sprays fart spray.
Wow. So it's like a skunk as well.
Yeah, and it sends the GPS coordinates to the police.
That is awesome.
It's nuts. It's
wow,
really cool.
Okay.
That was a spoiler, though, so you don't have to watch it. I've just given you...
You don't need to watch his content, but like and subscribe.
Yeah, and bell and all that.
Well, this is a gunny. So, I like that little totem stack in middle right there, using the boards to boost on up. And, there's a 1-2-2 setup here with Lehman and Milky trying to lock down A. Just a single AWP setup here for the CT side, and not a diffuse kit in sight. Heroic, bit of a default spread early. Refresh and Shush are working their magic over towards B. And mid being cleared on out right now. So it might be bad info here, depending on how long they want to park the bus. Fiku could stay on this right-hand side, but no, he is going to start moving on back. Won't catch any info, and they're going to think it's clear. They're going to think it's clear, aren't they? Well, it's clear for now. We have seen before, by the way, I want to highlight this if we can, Stown's Molotov. So right now, Stown will throw a molly. Isn't it Stown? Pretty sure it's Stown. There it is. And it lands top here of Gap and flushes them into an awkward line.
How cool.
Yeah.
That is really nifty. In terms of just solving that eternal problem of how do we safely swing as a unit into that very common and very potent angle. Now, you can see Lehman wants to take the fight. He's not going to let them have this ramp for free. Oh, they get the info on the jiggle. Refresh doesn't miss these. Certainly not with Tessus in support.
Down's coming B, not checking this one. Time's a problem now.
Perfect. Fiku has made it interesting.
Double up.
Oh, Fiku saves them. That nearly went absolutely terribly wrong. Absolutely terribly. And Cadian is dead in, what do you reckon, 3?
2.
He could still kill him.
He kills it now.
Bang! Oh no! It's happening. It's happening. It's happening.
Fiku's good in the clutch though, Alex.
Oh, Cadian knows Fiku could be a sitting duck. It's all about timing here. Loudly heading towards the stairs, Fiku. No utility, no kit. It's just as quick as this. What a horrible way to concede. You're just walking into Cadian's angle and it's as easy as that. 15 for Heroic. And it really did look like they'd done enough there for Ego.
Yeah, I think Fiku's very fortunate he got that kill and didn't get the double up against him right there. That would have been the round in itself. So handled there. Heroic got chaotic for a moment. Time a bit of a problem, but this was, what, 7 seconds on the clock as Cadian's able to track down that kill on the B site. If the individual at default was able to stay alive longer for like maybe, here you go, 7, 6. If this kill didn't come in then, there was no time to plant. So a bit unfortunate there for Furlan, but likely the final round of play and over towards B.
Fiku. Good for the first. On the fly underhand, and he's actually caught another nice pairing of frags. Ooh, Cadian nearly losing his life on that spray as well. So this hard commit from Heroic, the extinguish implies there's 2 there. We should just see this one peter out. The worst thing we would be seeing here in terms of like longevity of the series, seeing Ego be competitive in map 2. I mean, they can't go losing something like this, even though the weapons aren't ideal.
This is really good by Heroic. We've seen this do a couple of times, and it's only really possible when you're winning by a large margin to have residual nades, right? So you can carry 4 with you, but you can always leave an extra flash or the HE at spawn and come back and pick it up whenever you'd like. So they've picked up a bit of that residual utility, a full belt for Cadian, the same for Stown, and they can still try and work this round together. So Stown with a bit of mid control right now. Nice flash here being lined up from Shush to push Ultimate back off the line. Milky's in no man's land though, so this position that Milky's in, if they do swing into it, I like it. It's actually one of my favorites. It's not a common clear. It's a very odd position to find yourself in.
Yeah, very elevated, but the flash could not have been better from Stown. He geeks it. Milky thought he'd found something smart there, but it does lead to his, or rather, a 2v4.
I think it's a save. Cadian's still in spawn. He literally is just on these stairs, whacked up, looking for a bit of an A push.
If Stown had found that, gotten away, he'd have been more interested in play.
Oh, this is one back for Ego, so they do get to 5, but yeah, you're right. I think this will be a short-lived game. Don't want to, step not too far. Any more damage that starts to be sustained here are real issues. Fiku basically silenced this in the immediate, 10, 15 seconds of the round as they tried to rush B. So they'll hold on to 2 AKs and a FAMAS. They can drop a couple of guns across to make this buy back in play, but Heroic have enough for a purchase of their own. Good stuff from Fiku here. I'd say he's been the most impressive consistently for Ego. I think we've seen good nuggets out of all the individuals on Ego. Yeah, that flash just landed, didn't it? Just. You can see there it hit the clip of the wall at the top there. Okay, is it more of the same, or do you just go for the default spread to close this one down, Heroic? Looks like the latter.
One-way dropped. Ultimate just going to crouch underneath it and try and punish anyone that does dare attempt scaff. Fiku again consistent for Ago. This time is Shush taken down very early into the proceedings. They have got Milky tucked in. Now this is beautiful. You get the re-smoke. Ultimate. Oh, it's a flash. I couldn't find his name on my screen because he's
called Cyclone.
Nice from Milky. And there it is, a nice find to at least secure two-man advantage. And they are actually clearing middle again, just as Stown looks to regroup with Refresh.
Noisy from Stown as well, right? So if they want to keep pushing here, the sound cues likely give away the fact that nobody's in Roost right now. Scope going to be heard. Drop down the ladder, smooth from Furlan. Does he get the two, you think?
I reckon he just double taps the first and Refresh disappears.
Okay, well, good round from Ultimate there. They've stalled this one out. They get the AWP in the hands of Furlan. He's going to drop that to Ultimate for sure. And a good round from Ago. So they need to definitely consolidate this next round to play. It should be the economical coming through. And there's Fiku again over towards B. So starting to give Shush a taste of his own medicine. Milky with a good shot as well. And this eco from Heroic, as long as Ago don't give up too many kills, we can... I don't want to start having a conversation about a comeback just yet, but this is a mandatory round, right? Even if they lose this game, you don't want to see them lose to a round like this.
Can I ask you a newbie question?
Sure.
Why are some of the guns invisible now?
So this is an issue that has been caused by Valve adding the cool feature that we can see the players' crosshairs. So when the donated guns come through, we have two issues. One is which the crosshair disappears, and the other is when we do the third-person shots like that, that the gun is invisible.
Yeah.
Now, I will tell everybody that a lot of people have told Valve about this. It's not like they don't know. I just assume that they don't know how to fix it.
It's spaghetti code. When your game's been out this long, it's spaghetti code. You know, the reason that gun drop and crosshair player viewing has affected the fact that you can't see the player holding the weapon is just, you know, that's embodiment of spaghetti code and spaghetti brains for Furlan, spilling all out of his pockets.
Yeah, like Rush and I had Rush make a, I know Rush has emailed them, I had Rush make me a video so that I could send it to them.
But Rush wrote an email, I'd love to see it. Does he say, dearest Volvo?
You don't want to call him Volvo.
No?
No, like, they do like the fun and games.
Dearest Valve from Bellevue.
Yeah, maybe that'd be a nicer way to go. Lord Gabe, Your Majesty.
Your Majesty. I'm writing to you to humbly request some headshots. Sleeman gets them. 7. And in the wise words of Ago stands around the world, 15 is all Heroic will get.
Maybe I should send another email and explain the importance of what it changes from the viewer perspective, because I know for movie makers, it's an issue. I know for us...
Oh, does it stick around in the demo as well?
Yeah, I know when we're doing the contextual stuff here, we can see it, and obviously for you guys at home, with the dropped guns, the crosshair, sometimes not there. So maybe if I make a little bit more of a list, then we can see if we can get a response out of them. But I'm sure that they know about it. Oh, here we go, creeping through. This time not going to go down to Fiku early, and that's the difference maker when they've been going for B lobby. Can do boost on either side here.
This is going to feel so different.
This is so quick.
Yeah, this is going to scare the hell out of Furlan. He has not got anything close to what Heroic were putting down on the stairs, and all Shush has to do is walk in and say, this is mine now. Util dump, plenty more where that came from, because his team have got the space pretty much scot-free, and yeah, I feel like we might be saying goodbye to Ago's Vertigo. Committed to the spray, not quite enough. Nice on the rotate from Stown as well, and just like that, stylish finish. 16-7. Bit of a thrashing, bit of a drubbing. We will see the boys fall. Ago with 7 to boast, and that was on their pick. Heroic's pick is next, but first, we're going to take a break and hear exactly what the guys at the analyst desk have to say.
Hey guys, it's Robs. I'm gonna show you a few tips and tricks on where to go B and how I prefer to anchor sometimes, and maybe you can implement it to your own playstyle. So on where to go B, if you want to play around the site and you're mostly alone, then you can just use this box here to get the information if they're coming up the stairs. And if they do, you want to use your smoke and save your smoke for that. You can just use your smoke like this. And they're just gonna buy you a lot of space because you can, like, okay, they're coming, you're gonna fall back, and now you're buying time for your teammates to rotate, and they can always flash above the site here. You're just gonna play around the smoke. They might jump on top, and you just try to frag as much as you can. And the most important thing is that you just buy time. Good way to hold B is when you have two people holding it, and one of them is playing around this general area, so he's gonna hide and hold wood if they can boost and jump on top of it, and you have your teammate around the site somewhere just spotting down the info if they're coming up. If they execute and your teammate is telling that they're coming up, you can also use your smoke here. This is what I like to do sometimes, and you're basically blocking this. You can just hide here, you can jump on top of this, and you can again buy a lot of time. And by then, like, your teammates are gonna be window flashing above you, and you can just pick off all the guys here easily, and even fall back to quad, because if they molly it, it's gonna obviously dissipate and come back. So if you wanna play aggressive, I usually just play around wood, and I kind of try to capitalize on the timings. I'm feeling really comfortable here when I play, and sometimes I have a teammate right there holding a flash, which is gonna land like this. I'll show you now. You just go against this wall, and I aim on this line, and it has to go between the stairs and the wood. So just about there, and this flash would land right down the stairs, and if you want, you can peek down with it. And just playing around the wood in general is a good way to be aggressive, and you can always fall back if needed to do so. Alright, that was it. These were some quite common setups on where to go B, and you'll probably see some teams using them in Pro League. But if you'd like, you can try them out, and you can tell me how they work on social media.
Well, that one's got to sting just a little bit for the AGO side. Not the start they wanted in this series, one of the last ones they're going to have here, Group D of ESL's 15th season of Pro League. That's right, Refresh and company, getting it done when it needs to get done. We welcome you back. I say we, that's Yanko, Kasad, myself, Trace, and here we go. Let's talk about Refresh and how great he is, starting with Kasad.
Yeah, he was pretty great in this first map, and we said that they need somebody, you know, like him to step up if they want to have consistent results. But overall, when it comes to this game, you know, you look at the first half, it was 11-4. It looked like they were like easily getting it done, like you said, right? But in my mind, like some of these rounds were not even like that convincing, simply because of the one thing. AGO didn't have enough utility to finish off the round. They used everything on ramp, on side calls, and all the flashes, but when they need to smoke off main or side, they just don't have it and just get picked up, and that's where the round ends for them.
Yeah, I think also we were talking about how AGO needs, you know, those T sides. First halves have been killing them. The most they got was 4 rounds. That's what they got here, but they won 3 out of the first 4. Right, like they were up 3-1. They got that reset after losing the first gun round, and still they couldn't get anything going after that.
Start with that. Let's start with that round 3. A little bit of mid-aggression, a little bit of mid-presence goes a long way.
Yeah, I wanted this round because this really just describes Heroic as a team, right, and their philosophy. Like, you're 2-0 down, you're coming into the first gun round. These are 2 M4s, by the way, that are pushing. Even with the deep flash, they don't see the guy instantly, and they don't get punished for it, right? But just they don't care about the score, about the situation in the game. This is who they are. This is their identity. They're going to take the fight to you, right? And more often than not, it works out in their favor.
This could also be an anti-strat as well for the first gun round, because they may have noticed that they're always starting with the default in the first gun rounds. The player who is playing middle is always behind the generator or somewhere like close to it. So let's just get the opening pick right there, playing aggressive. It doesn't matter if you're 3-0 or 0-3, just gonna go there and just get the
I don't think they had enough information to go off of to really like anti-strat that.
So the unfortunate part is, you know, for Ego, you have a player like Ultimate. He's been real quick with it all tournament. You know, he's been pretty impressive when it comes to quick AWP kills. But when, you know, you stack up in your Air Force aim high head-to-head, then there it is. Like the nitty-gritty truth is not pretty to look at. It's also the T side of Vertigo is not really super easy for the op, you know.
Yeah,
if you get an open, if you get the best spawn, then maybe you can pick B, but usually the flash comes in. If you're gonna go towards A, there is smokes, mollies, flashes, people dropping. It's not easy for you to get an opening as an op on that side because it's always a rifle brawling there, right? Right. And it's like, it's not really like comparable on this map, so maybe in the next one.
You know, if you're an opera, you know what you love, Trace?
What's that?
You love people just like kind of peeking you, you know, just being somewhere where they don't use a lot of utility. You know what you hate? You hate utility. You hate it. You hate situations where there's a lot of smokes, mollies, flashes where you have to move around. You want a clear line of sight, right? And just to be able to hit your shots. And what's going on A ramp is anything but that. It's chaos, Trace.
Yeah, it's pandemonium. It's basically cats and dogs living together, which is not something, you know, people don't eat Eggo waffles and pancakes at the same time. Let's just be realistic right here in the now.
If you add pickles to that, yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely if you add pickles to that.
Because Kassad adds pickles to everything.
You're such a freak, Kassad. No, seriously, though, if you're an opera caught in those situations, all it takes is a simple flash and you've ruined what you thought was a great angle. Boom.
Okay, yeah, I agree.
So, Kassad, tell me one of those stories from back in the 60s.
Woodstock?
Yeah, that's a great story.
The 70s, 60s, yeah. It's
How was that for you? When you saw Jimi Hendrix live, was it as electrifying as it sounds?
Me, Tom Hanks, Forrest Gump.
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks.
Those are the same, but those are the same. All right, whatever. Look, I think it's gone well here for Shush and Company. You got to start to think about the next map of the series. Kassad absolutely nailing it for sure. Nuke not poised to be better for Ego here, but we're going to find out. Heroic going to try to close this one out in 2, and we're going to find out when we return. You're watching ESL's Pro League.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Choose nades, choose a smoke, choose a flashbang. Choose team badges to support your favourite CSGO team. Choose an ESEA Premium membership. Choose routes you know bring in wins. Choose pro video tips. Choose the fan club wars. Choose behind the scenes content. Choose good grades. Choose guns you know you can shoot right. Choose bingo. Choose the equipment you know is going to get your team the win thanks to heat maps. Choose the CSGO Hub Premium. The complete package to help you and your squad achieve all your CSGO goals.
This is the 55th series of EPL Season 15. AGO have chosen to be the team to start on the T side, and it's the second time we've seen it. Players were the first, but my goodness, is this a bold move or what? Look at the percentage. Since the start of the season, it has a 3.6%. That's just these two of the teams picking it.
This is crazy for a lot of reasons, right? Obviously, we're in a CT side meta. They have all the talk about the silenced M4. Even Glaive was mentioning yesterday. But also, it's Nuke, right? Nuke, historically, almost in the entirety of Nuke, forever, is a CT map, right? You want to start on that side. Now, if this was map number 1 of the series, I might make an argument for it. You don't want to start slow. You get to dictate. This is map number 2. You're meant to be warmed up. You're meant to be ready to go. So a very, very curious pick here by AGO.
Yeah, and if you wanted to find a way to frame it somehow, some way, you know, maybe it is a case of just them knowing that they'd rather have that CT side to fall back on. Set the bar for themselves in this first half. It is all just about perspective at the end of the day. You get to play both halves, but of course it doesn't feel so fun if you only get to play 4 rounds on the second.
Yeah, right there they didn't get to play a lot of their CT side on their map choice, right? Because they were just getting beaten across the map. The pistol round, it was a full-on A fake, and the bomb went down B, right? So they haven't had a lot of time with these silenced M4s in their hands, and now they're going to have to wait another 15 rounds before they can do that again. So if they have a gimmicky pistol out the gate, they can find the conversion, they can get that eco under their belt quite cleanly, then we can start having a conversation that they've got a counter here for this heroic CT side of play. And the plan, it might make sense, but AGO, we need to see it, and we need to see it now. This has been a learning experience for everybody, and maybe we can learn something here today as well.
So we watched Heroic play EG on this map, if I'm not mistaken, just yesterday. And we just, in terms of lessons learned, Heroic striking us as a team that are more than willing to take those gambles. So, you know, Yanko was talking about it on the desk. It is just part of their identity. You are going to see some real fruity CT setups once those guns are in their hand. They will take that space. They will keep you guessing. And AGO have already demonstrated that they can get lost at times. I'm seeing 2 very heavy investments into utility. Take a look at that. $700 spent by Fiku and Furlan. He's actually thrown some of that utility over to Furlan to enable one man to be the majority of this util. Where's that going, Chad? You got Molotov, you got a full kit for an outside smoke. Furlan's throwing it out early.
They like to do a bit of misdirection here, so they'll probably establish themselves, and then Fiku, I was going to say, might want to throw this one towards top hut, but that's back of the site here. So I think this is all of a ruse. They're coming in through main quite quickly here. Stoun's heard all this.
Yeah, gets the info and immediate flank, and look how quick they come. Good react out of Ultimate.
Everyone's dead. Well, yesterday their pistol round for AGO against Astralis ended up with them jumping around yard, right? And they kind of got lost out in that position. This time, it's been similar pathing, but in through main towards the top side. So I don't hate the idea here. The molly, I think the molly's misthrown. It's not meant to land on top of the bomb box. It's meant to land behind it to push Refresh into a wider angle. So that might be just a bit of a boo-boo in terms of the execution of that one for AGO, but this is not starting well whatsoever. Now, when they did play against Astralis, they only managed, I think it was 8 rounds on the CT side, right? Which is, you're against Astralis, but then I continue that thought, and I'm like, oh, well, Heroic are Danish, and they're pretty good at nuke as well. So maybe that has factored into this T-side choice too, but timing from Cadian. Oh, the best.
He's let that slip.
He missed the bus.
He did. And now he's chasing after it into the very next round. Down doesn't finish off anything that was started. And now with the whole squad down, this is the dream.
The alligator.
Yeah, very scary. That was the reason I said, oh no, when I looked at the buy. And Refresh has even controlled their overcommitment, so they can't leave. He's making that very clear, though.
Refresh has made so many steps here. He's trying to lull them back in. Fiku is the problem right now. He's coming out late as this linchpin. If he's able to find something, he can alleviate some pressure, but only
how dynamic they are, Chad. He's already disappeared. Like, Refresh was aware there's a timer for that return of Fiku.
You'd be wanting to push it with the shotgun if you're shush as well, right? You got this in your hand. You want to munch away. Let's see how many you get.
It's just that sound.
7 shells, right? Oh, he gets nothing.
Well, Tessus gets some very squishy teas to spray on down, and yeah, he can sit deep in the site now as time getting a bit set.
This is a kill. Refresh is not considering this.
Booked, yeah. I would
knife
love
him.
a knife kill.
Knife him.
The cash.
They can win this round now.
And die to Stown. Up tucked in the vent, swinging out, and the multi-kill comes his way. Bomb delivered. I guess Ultimate's objective has changed.
They didn't need to rush that, though. They knew where... As soon as Stown gets the kill, they know that one player's lower and one player's upper. So they could have isolated a fight towards the lower bomb site together, right? So I think they just rushed the decision-making. Someone called up, vent to top, let's go. And that's come back to bite them in the ass. But getting the knife kill is a good bit of fun right there. And we'll see them go down to what should be just another light pistol upgrade round. But yeah, Shush is going to feel hard done by that. The Alligator didn't profit him any kills right there.
Yeah, I thought Refresh is also going to feel a bit hard done by. Like, you had main, bro. You said you had main. He does win the round off the back of it, but a little bit of a master bait. Let's get back into it, round 3.
Yeah, no fun guns being brought out this time, just that SMG for Refresh again to roll on through, but everybody else with the M4s. So keeping players alive, name of the game, and Heroic were very keen to get stuck in with different fights. The desk highlighted on Vertigo where they did the mid push on the first gun round, right? I expect to see similar scenes here on Nuke, taking those fights, dictating the pace, really just making Ago feel that pain. Now, spam through the smoke, not landing anything just yet. Milky has been chipped on down early to about 10 points of health.
Stan loves this angle on Unbreakable. Especially when you're up against the lighter buy, you're going to get info at the bare minimum. Very hard deagle shot to hit.
Oh, not going to peek off it.
And you can see the setup. Oh, what are you cooking up? Oh, he's just got it so ironed out. Nothing they can do. Scadian takes 3 on the spray. Furland with a Glock, the last to fall. And no one going down from Heroic, so they are going to build a lovely stack of cash. Scrooge McDuck taking a little dive into round 4.
One of the issues yesterday for Ago against Astralis was the fact that on the CT side, as we mentioned, they were able to get 8 rounds, but on the T side, they were only able to pick up 1. So this is an opportunity for them to do better than that. And obviously, we're setting the bar very low. They lost the pistol. They lost the conversions. They were only able to squeeze 1 round, 5 rounds into that second half. So this is where we need to see a little bit more. Now, Ultimate does have his AWP. A little bit harder to activate here, especially if the CTs stay tuck-tailed. Smokes have landed.
Have they?
There's a gap here, but
on the fly.
They can just underarm this one and go. Oh, 2 up through Secret. I guess don't worry about Secret. Everyone's just going to die here, aren't they?
Yeah, they look really, really lost. Great one, but they're not going to assume seconds here. There's no way you're assuming seconds here. It's the easiest of the doubles, and Heroic are schooling these boys now.
Yep.
Like, absolutely taking them to class, sitting them down, putting a pen in their hand, and teaching them a thing or two.
This is one of the problems, right? If you're going up against a team who's doing something a little bit different, always outside of the box. Remember what was happening yesterday? Config was like pushing Lobby up the ladder behind them and everything. Right? It means that you can't just run standard rounds, which is why if Ago want to go for something a bit quicker and a bit more direct, then you just have to be aware when you're doing that. Even if you kill the yard guy, or maybe you do a fast top and you get the entry onto the main player, there's still going to be so many more players to find. Fiku up over. Was noisy on that jump. Nice shot. Great on the second, Fiku.
Wow, what a way to dig himself out of trouble. Can he possibly find the clutch? He has no idea where Cadian is, but it's a safe assumption he's probably pretty close. He's worried about Secret. Bomb picked up. He's going to walk straight through. Oh, and that's it.
Great aim, though.
Really good aim. Fiku constantly gives us little glimmers of hope, and even converting some of those rounds earlier on in the tournament. There he is on your screen now. Good stuff from Fiku, just doesn't manage to put it across the line. But the way this started, I mean, like, as you were saying, it's just exploiting your expectations. Like, you've played a lot of competitive Counter-Strike, and when you kill Secret, you don't expect a second immediately.
Not that quick.
Not that quick. It's not like they had the information to send to Secret immediately. That was just a call made by Heroic off spawn.
But I love it because this is where you know that Cadian, like when we think of in-game leaders, we mainly think of T side and calling out the mid rounds. This is where Cadian does that work on the CT side too. He's saying, all right, boys, let's do this. We're going to do this push. We're going to react like this. And he's going to just spam a USP and grab one through the smoke, right? And I love that because the CT side, it can be a lot of fun to play, right? You watch Gambit, they're pretty default heavy on T and CT sides, and they do it by the book. They wait at the utility. They'll be risk averse. But Heroic, they'll take a lot of risks. And when it pays off, it looks bloody genius. Now, another 4v5 number advantage here early. This time, no opportunities for trades back. The natives down perfect. Bonk.
Bonk. Bing. Bang.
It's onomatopoeia for everybody.
It is onomatopoeia. Bonk is definitely feels like an onomatopoeic one. Bonk. Kind of hear it, feel it. Little metal bat. Bonk.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying. In softball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just hit it. Bonk. What else have we got? I'd argue that...
Oh, woof is onomatopoeia.
Woof?
Yeah.
Like a like a dog's bark?
Yeah.
Woof. Yeah, it is. Oh, yeah, yeah. I watched a video of a dog with the most articulate woof. It really sounded like he was hitting the W.
Really?
Yeah, I'll show you after.
Good
Like a husky with
pronunciation.
great pronunciation. What about smash? No, not really. Crack? Crack. Gets himself an AWP for a moment.
What about oops?
Arguable.
Yeah. Yeah, where would it even fit in?
Yeah. What sound does an oops
No, I
make?
don't think oops is.
No.
If you're an English teacher out there...
Why don't we just open up our chat? Because I don't even know how many people have been educated on onomatopoeias. You know, we might have a
Well, if they haven't been, they should be.
Well, they probably are on that. They're up to speed now, right? It makes sense. If it sounds... If the word itself was saying it sounds like an embodiment of what it represents.
The definition. The definition. Right.
Like, for example, the one I remember from school, year 6, was Zoom. We had it on the wall.
Zoom, yeah.
It added extra O's and made it look like a car.
Yep.
Zoom, because
Okay.
it sounds like it is.
This is the official definition.
Yeah.
The formation of a word from a sound associated with what is named.
Yeah, so, okay.
E.g. cuckoo or sizzle.
Sizzle. Sizzle. Because it kind of sizzles. The word itself sizzles.
Indeed.
Wow, sorry if you just joined us. I know we're weird. But so are Heroic, as they really are going to build up this wall.
Yeah, Cadian says you shall not pass. He's down towards the back vent there with the AWP, so a great line to take a shot and dip on back if required here. Continuing to smoke off Squeaky. That's one avenue of aggression that has been denied for Ago, as they still have a bunch of utility left on over. 2 smokes, a bunch of mollies and flash bangs if they want to go for a top hit. You can molly top heart, you can get the molly towards the back of the bomb box, which was a miss last time round, and smoke off main, away you go. And as they sit, they posture, they wait, they will have to deal with 2 players towards top, Shush and Refresh. Down, Cadian both removed from the pack, and Tessas is playing ramp right now, so Lehman, I'm just going to line something up here.
That's a little tutorial, will you, Lehman?
That's a top heart one, and Ultimate is lining up the back sight one from the simple position. Well-timed smoke there from Cadian. They're going to have to push through this, I think, Alex.
He wants the vent highlight, and oh, this is so mean. The T-side pick, though, Chad.
Not working great early, right? It hasn't gone swimmingly.
It hasn't gone terrifically.
Actually, it's not going at all right now.
Here we go.
Consolation kill there for Ultimate. Just Lehman up on the silo. You know what the Americans would call it for a while? They'd call it Twinkie.
Twinkie.
Because I think that the Twinkies are yellow, and in Source, it used to be yellow. I'm reminiscing a bit about Source at the moment. It's crazy how many different versions of these maps I've played. And I know that I'm a boomer. I get it, everybody. But I have played so many different variations of these maps through the last 16 years of my life. It is actually absurd.
The old secret entrance, which was like on the other side of Warehouse.
Yes, you have to cross the gauntlet.
That must have changed the...
Oh, yeah. The entire map.
That must have been so weird.
It was so CT-sided before. 12-3 or 13-2 halves. That was par for the course. Yeah. Right? I get people now complaining about CT-sided metas, and the scoreline is 9-6 at a lot of them. I'm like, geez, you guys have absolutely no idea what you were talking about. Train used to be the same as well. And then there was like back in 1.6, I think it was the Golden 5 boys who ended up like being able to break that. And then they had like they had a really good set util coming out main, flying off ladders. Actually, to be fair, they had Neo.
Yeah.
Neo in 1.6 was a god. Like that is not hyperbole. He was an absolute monster in 1.6.
I love that Neo comes to the forefront of your mind when you mention ladders.
Oh yeah, his movement.
Yeah, his movement. Like Neo on train, I've watched the highlights. My goodness, so worth the trip. And Lehman's given us an opening pick.
All right, that's a change. Come on, Lehman.
Knife out, or down, round. Just as the wall of smokes was blooming, it got scary for a second, and it seems like Ago are just kind of tripping over their shoelaces at this point.
They need your chant, Alex.
Yeah. Hey, oh, hey, go, let's go.
Oh, sorry, there was another verse?
There's 2 verses. Okay. I developed it today, actually.
Okay, well, the first verse got him a kill. Give us the second verse.
The second verse is, let's go. Hey, go!
Okay, I like it.
Oh, you know, it's got variation.
Yeah, I like it.
Everyone sings along. I'm going to start it in Cano next year.
If they're there.
When they're there.
When they're there.
Oh, it's a when, not an if.
Oh, there's a but in this round.
Is it a big one?
I cannot lie.
Viku's been spotted. Refresh gets the info on the cross back, and yeah, this could very well go wrong, but Furlan decides he wants the round. He's got decon to be responsible of. The AWP not too threatening.
Done it!
And they have indeed. The chant, Chad,
it works. The powers.
Through the caster curse, we've got the chanting curse. We can encourage and entice rounds out of Ago.
I'm sure they heard it 2 floors below us. They could feel it.
Yeah.
They knew that there was someone there waiting in the wings ready to G him up. G him up. Yeah, sometimes...
Let's go, Ago.
That one's a moving machinery.
We've done that one.
Risk of trapped hands. Yeah, those signs always scared me a little bit. Now, the money not great for everybody over there. Just one man. Shush is light on. He can get a drop. Nice shot from Fiku. If we're going to put a star label on anybody in Ago, I think it has to be Fiku. And Furlan with his first 2 mandatory kills to get them across the board. 6-1. Back underway we go. And another round consecutive from Ago could break the bank of the Danes. Lighting up some smoke walls this time. I think that round started with an opener and then Cadian getting 2 back. So fell apart quickly for Heroic. Ramp crawl, Cadian's AWP. Gaps in the smoke here. That's been highlighted a couple times. Flashes top, all a fake. Refresh still standing, and here comes Tessa. It's not ready for this, but Ultimate swings into it.
Yeah, this is still hot water for Ago if Cadian doesn't choose to back up. At any point on his own time, he can choose to re-aggress into lobby. Milky parked on red. Look, could be an NF finish. Stown looking for answers out yard, and Heroic may not spot a thing upon Stown's clear.
So it would be a 2v4 on top side if they were to initiate this. Again, Stown and Cadian removed from the pack.
But the Heroic multi-kills, they just seem to be coming way too easy in this game. Like, if you can just get a trade now, and they have, if you can find Shush as well, you're set for the round.
To be here.
This is the multi-kill I'm scared of, and it comes through from Shush. Now Cadian, info and flanking. Milky has taken down that defender, but where's Cadian? They're looking heaven. No, not another one of these.
He's not going to clear his vent because of the sound cue. Cadian's dead. Dead to right. See you later. Baited on in by the pickup of the bomb right there, and they'll get their 2nd consecutive. Money broken for Heroic, and great stuff from Ago.
It happens to the pros too. You hear one of the 2, and your brain just cannot fathom that there could be one close on your corners. There are a couple of exceptions to that. You know, for example, the new generation who are clearing every corner just through that unconscious muscle memory.
Yeah, this one here, right, the difference maker from last time when they tried the top pop is Cadian was in the vent and smoked off Squeaky as they were executing. This time it was just the fight from Refresh in the open. So 1 and done, but a very good round. And look at this buy. They've dropped down 4s. Cadian and Refresh with 1 apiece. Ultimate's taken down Stown and Furlan in the vent with a knife in his hand. All right, this is audacious.
Hello, good to see Ago stringing together potentially 3.
And this is a huge one because this is a force buy from Heroic. I thought they were going to go for a save. They fully invested everything here.
Yeah, and never mind that, with the opening pick and Furlan already down the fence. Like, they've got so many pieces. They could even flank Cadian if Furlan wanted to activate, but they're just, oh no, why does it feel like they're going to run in and the molly to peek over? They're not going to be looking. Ah, the multi-kill. Cadian, he unloads his mag and 3 bodies drop. That's the only M4 that's close to the fight. Furlan late. Fiku from the other side. They can try and recover this, but...
You're not accounting for Tessus here.
That's the threat.
If they wait for Furlan, Furlan should get Cadian for free and might see Tessus as well. There it is. He does see him.
Fiku's responsibility. Nice from Furlan. It's out main, though. Refresh. No idea. Why did he look that way, actually? Yeah, he knows Fiku was yard. Worked it out. His teammates have told him. And info. Fiku is a threat. Hits the first couple of bullets, and here comes the silo flank. Down, secret, spotted.
Thing is for sure, she has the swag 7, so had to operate with the USP there. So it would have been difficult regardless here. Fiku, time for this. 30 seconds now.
Oh, lovely from Refresh. Just chooses to take the fight, not letting him set up for a plant. But a close one, but Ago, yeah, these multi-kills, if they weren't losing so many bodies on every single these one-man engagements, there's a great one from Cadian. No one looking because that flames are down, you know, it's just one of those another one of those heroic cheeky maneuvers.
Yeah, that was well done though by Cadian. That's a round-winning maneuver. And Furlan has done a lot here to try and bring this one back. You can see Tessus there just caught off guard by that play as well. And they can buy back in here, Ago. Ultimate's going to get his AWP. Everybody else into the AKs. And the money's still a little bit brittle right now for Heroic. So if Ago can bounce back immediately, grab another, it'll be another hodgepodge buy from Heroic going forward. Smoke wall, this time round going to bloom and cover on off. A molly of the same, a flash. mind you. Not a molly. Cadian not sure what he wanted to throw.
The right call to throw the flash first. Now Incendiary up, and Milky is through. Ultimate pre-aiming that. Nice play. Not going to let that happen again.
Yeah, same trick twice in a row. You're going to pay off this time, Tesla. So trying his luck, and a very trying time for Heroic here. They have to batten down the hatches in a 4-on-5. They've foregone what looks like a lot of ramp control here to turn more attention towards Yard. Nobody is dealing with that play right now. Refresh down the vent could and probably will. So this makes topside a little bit more susceptible here. I don't think Cadian spotted him here, so Milky with a lot of room.
Oh, great.
Never mind.
Great find, Shush. Just constantly keeping tabs on so many different open avenues, and one by one they walk into the crosshairs. Ultimate was out Yard, and now they've lost their potency in that prong.
Still nobody really top. It's just Stown to deal with this from main. So if they all walk out Heart, or 2 out Squeaky, 1 out Heart, it still could work here, especially with Stown not hitting the shot.
Perfect. Okay, now this has been punished. Heroic giving topside up with 1-man hold. Through Hut is Shush. Oh, back to turn. Leeman's dead. And the bomb's not planted. That's come way too easy. Fiku, another nasty clutch scenario. He's got refresh swinging in from main, and great. Wall banged all the same. Fiku's quick. Shush though, another 3-piece.
He might be one for the future, Fiku.
Yeah.
He truly might be one for the future. I really like what I'm seeing from him mechanically speaking. He seems to have a good head on the shoulders as well. This is Ultimate finding Tessus, trying that. There it is, just a little glimpse right there. Good replay from our boy Max.
Cool. Yeah, Max is on it.
And now this is great because Shush gets the kill towards Lockers, and then Cadian takes that spot. So if you're Ultimate, you're expecting to get a duel that might favor you, and you just walk into Cadian's AWP, so that one is going to sting a bit. And Shush might be quickly becoming one of the most annoying players to have to go up against. You know, we have a couple of names in that mix. You have a Hampus in there, right? But Shush is just so annoying on all these lurks. See you later.
That's great. Stown's main and refreshes bodyguarding nicely. Looks like even Tessus hasn't had any issues in ramp.
Just with a 5-7 as well. Not even doing it with a rifle.
Oh, they're taking the mickey. They are taking the piss. It's just Ultimate. Finishes it off, but one's already slipped his angle. And ooh, it's a quick react, but...
Well, the splits there.
Yeah, it is.
Bit of flexibility.
Just how close are you?
Haven't had that flexibility in years. Actually, I've probably never had that flexibility. My coccyx is still hurting from the fall off the skateboard.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Yeah, that's, guys, when you get old and you think you're going to try something fun and new, maybe just don't. Just
no, Chad, that's terrible messaging. That's terrible messaging. It's not, he doesn't mean it.
Just age out. Just age out.
No.
Never try anything new.
Absolutely the opposite. Perception is reality, Chad. If you believe you're old, you're going to feel old.
Yeah, I want to get back in the water, though, right? Soon, Malta soon.
Have a dip.
Swimming. Nowhere to surf, but I can have a paddle.
Yeah, get a little paddle board.
You need good balance for that. The skateboarding has taught me anything, but I can't hurt myself as much, right?
Much,
so,
unless there was some sort of like Maltese great white.
Or I drowned.
So as you can tell, Chad's in a really good, positive frame of mind, everyone. The pain.
I'm a strong swimmer. I'm not worried about that. All right, it's all good. All right, well, here we go. 9-2. Good afternoon to you. Stown, aggressive. They're being very...
Cuckoo. They are being mean.
Being so mean.
Yeah, and it's just the...
Schoolyard bullies right now, Heroic.
I swear, how frustrating is it when you're playing and constantly being shot in the back of the head?
Just always push, never respect it.
Yeah, and you just don't get to play, like, you're sitting there talking about the round, and then you end up interrupting the conversation with...
One push ramp.
Push ramp. Yeah, it's 2 yard this time.
Then you're trying to mid-round. You don't know what space you do and don't have. You got 2 boys hanging out on an aircon vent, though. This is a bit from Ocean's 12, I believe. That's... I can't even think of the actors' names. Brad Pitt and the other guy, Jason Bourne.
Jason Bourne.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Jason Bourne, though.
Jason Bourne. He could be used right now as special agent required for Ago. Yard clear. Stown alerts the troops. Nothing here. Top site you should fear.
We're here. We're queer. We're coming to the top side. Lehman throwing in a nade or two.
Vent drop smoke.
It would be cool. It's actually Ultimate that's trying his luck. And, oh, Refresh is hitting. Oh, God,
Look at all
two of them.
damage.
Two of them, and then it just falls apart. Nice find. It's still a 2v2. But they're not going to be able to get the plant. It's so brutal. You can see, like, Ultimate, he's in a horrible scenario now with 8 seconds left. They're dancing with him on the ladder, distracting him with one sound cube and punishing him with the other. At least it wasn't after time. But it is 10 for Heroic, and I think, yeah, the sentiment...
They're having fun. They're smiling. They're having a good time. At least one of the teams in the server right now is. Ah, dear. It does suck to see it go down this way for Ego because they've been promising each and every day. And now this is one of the, well, I think this would be the toughest opponent based on the whole Na'Vi factor with the stand-in of Headtrick. Now, Headtrick did tweet and say that Boomich is back today. So Glaive yesterday said it. Headtrick, the player who has been standing in for Boomich, said it. I think at this point, it might even be happening.
Are you telling me Boomich is back?
Lord Boomich in the building. Now, is Lord Boomich like a lord from the olden days, or is he a lord like a religious man?
Oh, no, he's from the olden days.
The olden days.
Yeah, lord. It means he has some land somewhere.
Okay.
You know you can actually buy a lordship. They just sell you like 1 square meter.
Oh. A shot. Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You could put Lord Birchall on all of your forms.
That'd be nice.
Would you be a lord?
No.
Fiku?
Too many targets.
Too much.
Just too many targets.
Way
Look at the
too
damage.
much on his plate. Looking for these no scopes. Yeah, Milky could have a real highlight. He won't.
Oh, Lehman has the AK.
Cyclone. Gonna give it everything he's got. Alongside with the ride is Lehman. And, oh, another slip the net.
Low HP though, on top hot now. There's a chance.
Rounds for this.
This is a kill. This is a kill. Oh. They can win this round. This could be the third right here from Ego, 2v2.
Smoke down. Heaven is the fight, and already Lehman's been humbled. They're so low on Heaven. Stown has to respect it, and the bomb now planted, so good stuff. Ultimate's going to have to do a lot with their Stown coming around the world.
The no one was main and the no Stown was Heaven, so this is a really good play from him. Tassus was baiting with the bullets. Now Tassus is coming through the Heaven position. Stown needs to activate first. It feels like Stown could show some leg, but... Are they even going for this? Might be too late now. Yeah, getting a bit tricky with it. Ultimate sealed the deal right there. Tassus won't have time to defuse. You can see the frustration on the spam, and that's going to be the third round for Ego right now. So really good stuff to pull this one out. That's what happens if you're heroic and you keep on pushing, you keep on picking. You will eventually get punished, and they do. Now, and their money's not great, right? They have actually been sustaining a lot of deaths throughout these rounds. The last 4 rounds that they won consecutively, 2 players alive was the most they had to boast. And because of these fun and games that they've been having, they now find themselves in a position with another 4 spy. And that means that if Ego win this one, it's going to be a 4 spy into the final round to play with only 1900. So a real opportunity for a 10-5 here.
You take a 10-5. They'll bite your hand off for a 10-5, considering how this one started. We've had runs from Heroics, 6-0. 10-2.
It's already much better than what they did against Australis by 1 T-side round. They've already gotten 3, and if they can get that 5, it's going to be fantastic. They need this.
Oh, wow. How does Refresh's 5-7 look like a rifle? D-man's up. That's the rifle from Stown, though, and it needs more. They have to clear Shush. They cannot be allowed to get another. He nearly gets 2. It's Ultimate and Fiku, though. They can and will make this competitive. And as I say that, Refresh flies up the ladder. They're not giving him a moment's respite.
Oh.
A second up the ladder. Fiku was not ready, and who would be? 2 flying up the ladder. The Refresh 5-7. It's all just a bit unfair.
Yep, okay. Well, crisis averted there as far as Heroic's bank goes. 11 now secured. A bye will be possible here from Ego, and it has to be. It's the final round of play in this first half. Galil's likely to supplement where AKs can't be bought. And this is, yeah, just so annoying. Just up the vent, a second player. There's no way, as you're mentioning, that this is considered. And Tessus is just being naughty. He's done that to them twice. He was the player down towards Secret that acted, well, he was the one getting baited in. Here we go, fast.
Very fast, and Furlan's cut down through the utility and spray. And Tessus already fighting Trophy. They are just not letting Ego play at all. And they're just going to be so dynamic. You can see these dots moving around in the top left of your screen, just constantly repositioning, reshaping. And now, if you want to walk through main as it fades, you've got to walk through cadiaN's orb. Oh, the refresher's caught the Huppler push as well, so this ends drearily, for lack of a better term. Ultimate doesn't even get to walk through or see his opponents before he does get cut down to 37. Nice adjustment. Only 4 more required. With 37 HP, and I reckon Stown probably has Smoko vision. Yep, spots him, eliminates him. 12-3. Heroic flying through this first series of the day. More Counter-Strike to come, including the second half of this one. Don't go too far. A T-start did not quite go to plan for Rego. They leave, or rather venture into our second half of our second map of our first game today with 3 rounds, 3 and a compulsory pistol ahead, Chad.
And Abhinav has tweeted and said, "Yo, Sponge, Machine, why does Heroic start on the CT side when they were the one who picked Nuke?" Well, my friend, it's because Ago decided to start on that T side and it hasn't gone too well for them, has it?
Oh, you fool, Chad. This is all part of their grand master plan. 1xBet don't know about it either. Refresh dumping util, and this could go to one of two ways. Lee-Man, you got a lot with that armored duel. He's on your plate. Molotov doesn't burn him, but they're just going to fly down this vent, and the entire squad has got the lower sight.
Well, that is quite easy, isn't it? Nobody's down here. Bomb will go down. They can scale up towards ramp. Milky, they're coming.
Gives me the shivers, Chad. Gives me the shivers. Oh, okay.
Shiver me timbers.
I'm sorry, I'm not play-by-playing this. It's just because they are so quickly into this round, it looks like Heroic have already won it.
Yeah, I'd say they have. A 3v5 retake on the B bomb site. Bomb halfway gone. And another player dead. So we will call this 13 rounds as they continue to pepper away with the Glocks at range. Shush will find the final kill. Fiku with one on the way out the door, and the Julies will be picked on up. Now, that strat was perfect, right? They smoked Heaven, they smoked main, they mollied top heart, so Lehman couldn't stop them from going down the vent. I think they flashed behind CT vent, and then they all just dipped on down the fireman pole.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, the molly specifically gives Lehman safety on the hut side. So he's sitting there, obviously thinks he's found himself a lovely nugget, but it means he has no vision on the 4-man descent vent. Well, it was a compulsory pistol. Now it's miserable. They're going to be rocking and rolling with what they can find. They've looked under the sofa cushions and come up with some sidearms. I did it again. Oh, punishment, a little damage from Fiku, but they're already down. Let's see the rotates now. They're just going to basically test. Diego rotates and
they're all dead.
From test to test S.
Yeah, I want to talk about that quick molly that was thrown there. That's different from the one in the previous round, right? At least maybe not in the nature of how it was thrown, but in when it was thrown. If you are doing a top rush, right, and you're throwing that fast molly, you all need to know this at home. If somebody says, how molly hut fast, let's do a rush, you need to know that that molly can't cover all of hut. The set molly can. The one that's fast, you fly up the T roof ladder, you have the windows broken, and you throw that bad boy up, and it's going to bank off the top of the windows and drop down on top of the hut. And it can spill and cover over towards Tetris too, but it's not going to get you all of the hut there. And, well, that's Force by done. This should be 15. Now, guys, if you want to get any more social media interaction, get it through now for Alex and I. Hashtag ESL Pro League. We are only casting one today. You've got Sedicus and Moses coming up next for the North American Derby. That'll be going down between Complexity and EG. And then the final game of the day, an absolute banger, Astralis taking on Na'Vi. That'll be a great game.
A lot of fun, especially upon Boomich joining the Na'Vi roster. Again, it's going to be fun to have the full rosters battling out.
And then tomorrow, I assume it'll be very likely that they cover off on Na'Vi versus Heroic, which should be another good game. And then we'll be back on Tuesday to commence the round of 12 for the playoffs. So,
get me there, please. Very excited to see that quality of competition.
See teams like Fury are starting to head back now as well. So Gary with some stuff on his social media about returning. They only went home for all of, what, a week and a bit?
I was surprised they went.
Yeah.
But I suppose, you know, when you've got a long, big calendar year ahead of you, you take the home time you can get.
I assume if you qualify at the RMR, then you stay in Europe and boot camp for the major, which will only be like 2.5 weeks away. So you're probably here for the playoff week, the RMR week, then 2 more weeks in between, then the major, which can go for another 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So they're going to be here for maybe 5 weeks straight. Yeah. Makes a lot of sense. And I think it was the Brazilian version of Valentine's Day at the same time.
Was it?
Yeah, I think so. Is this the last round, Alex?
I'm afraid so, Chad. Here it comes.
Spin me a yarn.
I'll spin you a yarn. I'll even spin you a thick one. We have the smoke that once again has facilitated descent. No one's going just yet. Bomb could pop top bomb on Tessus. There's a couple of bits of chip damage have been found. A refresh is sweeping through for a late silo and yard clear. It's all about the angle on red here. Nothing to report. They return outside. So after all of that posturing, smoke count good for a wall of smoke. Shush, in fact, throwing his to someone else. They have ultimate here and a nice aggressive red position from Furlan. Maybe this is going to be that bad info. Well, they're well aware it's possible, though.
Yeah, they still think it's away. You can see the jiggles here.
Yeah. Oh, Furlan spots bomb and suddenly realizes that they're in the right place this whole time. Ultimate to punish. Oh! Refresh. Okay, he's decided this is the last round of play. Takes the AWP out. And Furlan for good measure. That was quite the shot.
They could just go back to top now. They've still got smokes to make this available. That looks like it's going to land in front of the vent again. So if they want to drop on down, there's another top hut smoke coming their way. Might be the correct avenue.
Heroic are good, man. very, very well drilled.
24 seconds though, Alex.
The only way in which this does go wrong is the time. You're right. There's a two-man advantage for them. Milky is going to be there to receive the potential full ramp.
15.
Is the bomb down? It is now. Cadian tagged up, but the bomb to be planted by Refresh. Oh, they can't get through him. Tessus has posted it, and Ago with a mega 3 to celebrate. Fiku has impressed us, definitely one for the future, as this individual consistently flips the script over the course of these 4 days of play.
Very noisy here, right? And look at Cadian. He hasn't just gone and played from ramp. He's actually going to come down the vent here to be the sleeper cell.
And that'll do nicely. Heroic sailing through their last series and looking good for it. We're going to be seeing them, of course, back tomorrow, but that's enough to secure it. Ago down, Ago out. We are too. We'll catch you guys over towards the round of 12. Looking forward to watching the Counter-Strike tonight. You should stick around. We've got Moses and Stadikist as well as the desk to break it all down and bring you the next 2 best of 3s. Have a lovely Saturday.
Hey Future Pros! Today I wanted to show you another method to take outside and find picks on the T side of Nuke. This execute will obstruct a lot of vision from the CTs and possibly force a warehouse player out into the open for a fairly easy pick. For this execute, you will need 4 Future Pros along with 3 smokes, 2 mollies and 2 HEs. Future Pro 1, you'll be throwing the bottom hell window smoke. To throw this smoke, hop into this corner. Aim at the top of this pipe vent and slightly to the right of the line. Run forward and jumping through the smoke as you get close to the wall in front. Save your molly as you can use this to block off secret as you spend more time outside. Future Pro number 2, you only have a warehouse smoke to throw, so don't mess it up. To throw the warehouse smoke, look into the center of this wall. Aim at the bracket on the silo, then jump throw the smoke. After this, head into lobby and hold off any pushes. Future Pro number 3, you'll be throwing the A main smoke, mollying secret, and saving a HE for CT red. To throw your smoke, position yourself so half of this vent is cut off by the wall. Aim to the top of the cables, run forward and throw the smoke just before hitting the box. Then clear some close angles and hop onto this box. From here you can throw a molly to cover secret and hold the push. If you feel like it, throw your HE to CT red with Future Pro 4. Future Pro number 4, you'll be throwing the CT red molly along with a HE. To throw your molly, wait for the warehouse smoke to bloom, then make your way into this gap. Aim at the lower corner of the garage door and jump throw the molly. This will land behind CT red and possibly cause a counter-terrorist to rotate back towards the ladder area. After this, running through your HE behind CT red as you could get some chip damage on the rotating player. Then have Future Pro 1 boost you behind T-Red, and if you're quick enough, you should be able to catch any CT trying to get up from warehouse to ladder. And that's about it. This execute is a nice way to find a pick outside. If you have confidence in your aim, I have no doubt you should be able to catch CT player out.
Deflated, quite underrated, but ultimately it is heroic to walk away with this series. They make it look relatively easy. Or you could probably say it like this. They're explosive like napalm. And you have to look at it, you have to take that into consideration. Heroic came into here and they have burned Nuke up. Guys, question mark?
Well, yeah. I mean, they were pretty good on this map. Still, it comes to mind. What comes to mind is like the fact that Ego picked T side on this map. You just simply, I was like thinking about it, and there must be two reasons for that. First of all, they feel super confident on their T side of Nuke, they practice, but then again, why wouldn't they pick it earlier in the group stage? And the second thing is like, maybe they got some stuff on Heroic, but then again, if you start the CT side, you get to play the T side anyway, and you can use that stuff. So I don't see any reasonable,
There's no rationale to it, really.
At all, like picking T side, and it backfired 100%, and they just got demolished.
Yeah, you can see here, like in the lower third, right, the stat, and the only other team who picked T-side in this event is Big, and they're kind of infamous for it, right? I mean, the last couple of years, they've been known to pick T-side in some of these events.
I think it was like a T-side on a Dust 2 even for Big, so the confidence was there.
Yeah, and it's also like, the philosophy sometimes behind it is, if you can get a couple of rounds, win pistol, you get rolling on the T side, it's easier to close out on CT when you know how many rounds you need, because you can save, right? You know how much you need to get to 16.
Yeah.
The map is just like that. You have to go for CT side. No matter how confident you are or whatever you have, you just need to go there. It's just such an easy pick. I don't know.
Yeah, this one is weird.
Yeah, it's super weird. Like right out of the gate, it doesn't quite compute, doesn't quite make sense. And apparently that's the 2 times, right? Like out of 110 possibilities.
And with that, they're just out of the competition for the playoffs.
Oof, a rough one.
What a shocker.
Not really what they wanted to do. Ego did show us a little promise. We all thought like, hey, first day, wow, they brought the second map. They showed us a little something, taking Navi to the brink, but...
You beat complexity.
Trace, this whole series was shorter than the OT game versus Navi.
It really was. In just the AT...
Legit. Shout out to Chad Sponge Berger.
Yeah, shout out to the Sponge one time. But anyway, I think we have an interview with Ego, so it's only fitting that we let them tell their own story. Well, it be like that sometimes. Unfortunately, it would appear as though the microphone somewhere therein didn't kind of get the memo. Like, hey, got to be turned on for this one. All right, well, here I am. Nonetheless, commiserations for Ego. Do we see any promise for them going forward?
I think they definitely exceeded expectations in this tournament, and by far, right? Like taking complexity down, putting up a couple of good fights on some maps, the Navi one, right? For such a new roster and the changes that they've had, I think a lot of positive signs for them.
Let's run it back, and let's try that one again.
Hey everybody, right now I'm joined by Milky from Ego. Milky, unfortunately you are out of the playoffs, like you will not be able to play there, but what really surprised us today is the video that we actually saw from you guys, because you decided to go for a very big. What did you go for that map?
Because we will really play good this map on Prax. Yeah, it shows it's good map for us, but Heroic play well and just destroy us.
But were you considering of maybe picking Ancient against them?
No, we are not thinking about that. We are just wanted to play Vertigo, and yeah.
But you also surprised us by picking actually T-side on Nuke. Why did you go for that pick?
Yeah, because we are good on comebacking, so we wanted to like 5 runs on T-side. That was our plan, and then come back from CT side, and yeah, that's why we picked T-side.
Well, tomorrow you're going to have like one last opponent, and at this moment it seems like not you or them will be able to reach the playoffs, but will you still be super motivated just to try to get as many wins as possible?
Yeah, of course, we will try to win, and yeah, I hope we will win. And we are playing versus, again, good American team, so I think it will be a great show.
Looking forward to see a great show. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, a lot of heart and soul there, brother.
Yeah, I think also without a doubt, a very important game for them tomorrow as well, right? Just because of the rankings, right? And the points and all that stuff. Like that's the worst thing, man. Playing online qualifiers and having to qualify for all the events, that's hell. So if you can get at least, you know, invites to closed qualifiers, they need more opportunities to play against good teams to keep improving.
It's a big difference when you're playing. A big difference when you're playing open qualifier and being invited to a closed one. It's the nightmare of playing open qualifiers.
Sounds scary.
It's just super scary. And what you said about the nuke pick, it's something that you mentioned is like they're good from like coming back into the game, but I don't want to be too harsh because these guys are young and a new team, and that's a mistake that they won't be, you know, repeating anymore.
And the truth is this, for Heroic, they sit right where they want to be in this group. We're going to pull that up real quick just so you can illustrate it in your own mind. Heroic and Navi still the only ones without losses in this group.
Yeah, now we have a more difficult game later today against Astralis, and obviously we have Heroic versus Navi tomorrow to end the group. So yeah, not still locked in for the #1 spot in the group, but both Heroic and Navi have been locked in for the playoffs at this point, and it looks like it's going to come down to Astralis versus Complexity for the last spot.
4 wins, and then they performed with they performed very well, and they showed a lot of teamwork there, you know. And I think we're going to have one of those rounds right now where you wanted to see something and show something, Yanko, when it comes to teamwork.
Yeah, there was a couple of rounds like where they get punished from Secret, and this is Cadian getting a triple kill. This Molly is from Tesses, who threw it from main, right? So it's like a team play setting Cadian up. Obviously, he has the advantage picking over the Molly, being closer to it, and gets just a massive triple kill in a reset round.
And just to add to that, this is the round where they had like 2 M4s, couple of pistols, and maybe 1 FAMAS or something. And this is like the difference between the top twins and the teams that are like not in that higher category, right? They use the rifles to do their entry work right now. They are not like the pistols, the weaker weapons are going for something like more defensive, like utility centered, right? And then they set up the guns to get the kills. This way was...
There's nothing worse than like you save an AWP, an M4, and you have like an SMG and 2 pistols.
And a pistol.
And then the pistol and the SMG die in the first 20 seconds of the round before your AWP or your rifle can do anything. So it's always like, guys, let's remember, you know, like I don't care that you have a spawn to push underpass. We have an AWP here, we have a rifle, let's let them
the hell down.
Work, right? Like sit back and enjoy the show.
It's like losing your queen and your bishops and your rook and your castle or knight or whatever. You lose it all in the first go-around to pawns.
Well, you know about that, yeah.
I know all about that. It's not too fun, and it's very familiar to me, so I'd appreciate it if you would just kind of put some respect on that. The situation as a whole.
I have to point out that I beat Trace like 100 times. I did lose to Carmack.
Testify to that.
I did lose to Carmack.
But you did lose.
But you let
to
them win because he's your boss.
Yeah, exactly. So
and you let me win a couple times.
And he's
right?
younger than you know.
Yeah.
Huh. Oh. Very much so younger than him. EPL meme review. I have brought this up several times. I'll bring it up again. Check this out. Some of the memes that have been brought in. Look, it's a never-ending OT. Let's rate this one, Kassad.
Rate this one 6 out of 10.
Is this a dragon?
Is this
no,
Alex?
Dude. It's a never-ending story. It's yeah, that is Machine actually up there. Anyway, sometimes the memes hit, sometimes they miss. That one, I thought it was all right. These
probably
guys,
us two, probably not the best two guys.
Yeah, probably. Nonetheless, I get it. You can use hashtag, or what would they say in the night shift? Hashtag that. EPL meme review. Go ahead and get your submissions in. We'll take a look at them. We got a little bit of a break. We come back with a little bit of complexity and evil geniuses. That means that Heartbreak Hotel is right around the corner and the airport for both.
Love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Choose nades, choose a smoke, choose a flashbang. Choose team badges to support your favourite CSGO team. Choose an ESEA Premium membership. Choose routes you know bring in wins. Choose pro video tips. Choose the fan club wars. Choose behind the scenes content. Choose good grades. Choose guns you know you can shoot right. Choose bingo. Choose the equipment you know is going to get your team the win thanks to heat maps. Choose the CSGO Hub Premium, the complete package to help you and your squad achieve all your CSGO goals.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Choose nades, choose a smoke, choose a flashbang. Choose team badges to support your favourite CSGO team. Choose an ESEA Premium membership. Choose routes you know bring in wins. Choose pro video tips. Choose the fan club wars. Choose behind the scenes content. Choose good grades. Choose guns you know you can shoot right. Choose bingo. Choose the equipment you know is going to get your team the win thanks to heat maps. Choose the CSGO Hub Premium. The complete package to help you and your squad achieve all your CSGO goals.
Okay, let's go.
This is gonna be fun. Only nades. No.
Yeah.
It was a good battle.
Oh my god.
I can't see anything. I can't see anything. I couldn't see anything. Good flash. Good flash. Thank you. Thank you.
This is so difficult, honestly. Oh, what's you're not low at all.
40 HP. 40 HP.
Okay, okay.
Oh, that was a good nades by you. Good nades. Good nades. Fun battle. It's a fun battle. You need to predict. You need to predict what's going on.
Oh, you're locked in. You're locked in, Martin. You cannot get away. Oh.
Stop with these mollies. I can't.
Oh.
Yeah, good ACs, good ACs.
It was really good. I couldn't do anything.
Oh, I went into it. Oh my god.
Yeah, like that happened to me like 2 times. A new tactic. Oh my god, this is so stressful. Oh.
Yeah,
oh,
finally I got you.
A really good day.
Close match. Stop with these mollies. Stop it.
I'm so good with these mollies. I mean...
This is so serious.
Okay.
How much HP? GG. You won.
63.
GG.
Yeah, GG.
Good fight. Good fight.
It's really fun, actually.
All right, Kadian, take a seat.
Take a seat.
Back.
Yeah.
I want to get you into the zone.
Yeah.
All right. So I don't know if you're into meditation. We're going to do a little bit right now.
Sure.
When you close your eyes, It's a tournament day.
Okay.
You're ready to set up. You're about to run through all the bits and bobs that make Caden who he is when he plays the game. You there? You in the mindset?
I'm in the mindset.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thanks for playing the stupid little. All right. We're just gonna set up as you would on a tournament day, mate.
When you fold your mousepad, right? I always use 2.
Okay.
Like, you probably know it from back in the good old days with the bumpy tables and stuff.
Yeah.
So like that's the primary reason. But also like if you make some mistake, you spill something, you have an extra one. Some mice is plug and play, but I feel like the Superlight, they need a little bit of love. When the PC is on, I just move the things kind of as I want them. And my monitor, like the stand is always a little bit turned. Turn the monitor so it's even. I always flip it as much as I can this way. I don't know why, it just feels way better when the screen is like, I guess you can call it tilted or whatever that way.
Looking down on it.
Yeah, and then I just set, and then I start from scratch with the settings. Surely you have enough time to get a feel of how you want to set, so I'm not really ever stressing about that.
Okay, just need to be relatively comfortable.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Let's get this bad boy going, yeah?
Yeah.
Usually I do the monitor settings, to be honest.
Okay, run us through those.
Yeah, I always just use the back part, and actually for this tournament it's the first one in a while where they've used this new version. So we were lucky enough that we had a few of these at the office back in Copenhagen, so 4 of us brought one of these home and have been practicing on it. I always reset first, and black equalizer, I am on 14, color vibrance 14 as well. For those thinking what is down on, he's on 13 on both of them. Gamma 2, color temperature. So usually I have this on user defined, but I've actually been running this on normal.
Okay.
Color weakness, I think that's just default. Yeah, that's just off. DUEC, this is a big discussion for many people. I've been using premium for a long time, like ever since like it's been possible. I know it's up for discussions, but I've heard rumors that Nico Simple is using it off.
Okay.
But I'm not sure. What was he using last time?
Man, I can't remember.
I've made lots of good games and plays with it on. And apparently this down has made a lot of with them off. So, I mean, I don't think it matters too much, to be honest.
Personal preference.
Personal preference, for sure. Brightness 100, contrast 50, sharpness 10. And AMA is just default. That's on high. Actually, I think the sharpness on the new monitor it's more sharp, right? So in that way they improved it, but I'm still getting used to that as well a little bit.
Let's jump in game, because I want to see what res you're using with all that then.
Yeah. When you play an official or something that's important, go offline on Steam, disable your Steam overlay. You have nothing to use it for. Then there's one thing which I do always, which is the settings part in here on Steam. I didn't see too many people changing this in the other videos. I always use F8. I don't know why, it's just always been my button. But the problem with the shift tab is that there's quite a lot of situations where I'm like shifting somewhere and I'm calling to my teammates, and then I want to press tab just to make sure like who's alive or stuff like this. And then it opens up Steam overlay, right?
Yeah.
So that's like super silly. I think like the button makes no sense for Counter-Strike.
Not too many other players when they've come in have even mentioned it whatsoever.
Yeah.
But it's something that I'm the same as you. Like I find myself in so many situations trying to check and get information, and it's the last thing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
it is like a small thing to overlook. It's like that, and people are not setting up their TeamSpeak properly. Are probably two of the things that people mess up quite significantly. Are you the type of guy who's been using the same res forever?
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I use 1280 X960. Shadow quality, low. I think this is one of the only ones where I'm kind of unclear at times. I like the feeling of the game more when it's like on low or very low, but I've also seen some videos and reasonings for why you should have it like as minimum on low, medium or high, because there is some places where it's going to show some pretty significant shadow advantages, right? Model, low, disabled, low, low, gonna get that FPS. Boost player contrast, it's enabled. I am a lot of like a feeler. Like when I go into the game the first time, I can feel if it's running as it's supposed to or not. And I'm very critical of that. This is the meta crosshair. Everyone is using this crosshair at the moment.
Right?
It's a fan favorite at the moment.
Okay.
But I'm on this one, man. I've been using this one for ages. It's basically from Colt when he was a beast.
Okay.
Sometimes he had it like size 3, but right now it's size 2.5. He had it like this, and he was just completely instant, man. You couldn't do anything. So, yeah, I like it a little bit smaller, 2.5. The style is 4, like you said.
Yep.
And gap is -2.
Okay.
Color is 2.
Keeping it big.
On my mouse 5, I think it's called, I have the clear decals.
Okay.
Just always good to be able to just clear it if there's any blood or anything in the way. And on the button below it, I think that's mouse 4. Could also be the other way around, I'm not sure. But that one for my radar is like making it bigger and smaller.
What about in terms of grenade binds? Are you still scrolling through them with?
Oh, yeah. To be honest, I think the one that I want to have the most is the smoke grenade.
Sure.
Because if I get mollied, and you know, you get flashed or things are chaotic, it can save you like 20 HP sometimes.
Yeah. Okay. What about like making the crosshair bigger or smaller, like to line up some grenades? I've seen some people, none of that stuff?
No.
Do you have any funky binds? Do you have anything maybe outside the box that people aren't aware of?
No.
What about when you get ready for a day? Are you a superstitious man? Do you have to wear okay.
Yes.
Talk me through the superstitions.
I mean, I'm superstitious in a lot of ways. I also like have my background in like traditional sports in handball and stuff. Played that at a competitive level in my youth at like, basically it's called Team Denmark Academy. It's like for people who are really ambitious about it, and you combine it with your high school, practice 9 times a week and stuff, and always in handball and stuff, I've always been like that, you know, tie my right shoe first and stuff like this, you know. So, I mean, I think for CS, it's more like stupid stuff. Like, if I win Pro League with a pair of socks, like it doesn't have to be exactly that pair, but it has to be that kind.
Okay.
Or the same underwear and stuff. And sorry to all the people out there, but there's times where if I had a really good game, and this goes for Stavn as well, we've been wearing like the same pair of underpants, the underwear the next day. I know it's stupid, but I think it's just about like that kind of, you say, like preparing yourself mentally. You're like, okay, I got the right things on, I'm starting my day and stuff like this, but I think for me there's a lot of preparation on a day. I like getting into the rhythm, but I also think it's mentally pretty tough.
Okay, cool. All right, well, this has been how Cadian sets up for a tournament day. Thank you for taking us through your steps.
No worries.